What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. We're getting a little bit of a late start. It's about 8:16 right now. We are your hosts. I'm Brad.
I'm Miguel.
And this is episode number 43. We have a really big one tonight. It's been about a week since our last show, and it is... Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
They ain't ready.
It's Halloween Kills Week, people.
It is.
We are 4 days away from the official release of Halloween Kills. I know a couple people are getting into screeners and stuff, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. Like I said, we have a lot on the agenda tonight.
Yeah, if you see our thumbnail, it's cluttered as fuck.
But it's cluttered. There's like 9. There's like 9 different things on there. So this is going to be a fun one, man. Miguel, how are you doing tonight, my man?
Doing good. Counting down the days till we get to go see Halloween Kills, and I'm really excited. It's going to be a full day, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah, Miguel texted me. Was it last night that you texted me? And he was like, "Dude, tomorrow's the week of."
Yeah,
it's actually it.
That's literally insane to think about. Because again, like last year, I could care less about Halloween Kills or Halloween at all. Now I'm just texting Brad literally the week before. I'm like, "Yo, dog, it's literally countdown season now."
I know.
How Michael on the chat would say 227 hours or something like that. It's like,
yeah. Let's see. Indie Phantom says, "Howdy, boys. What's going on, man?" He says, "Pumped up for the kills, us too, brother." We're going to talk Halloween Kills some tonight. We're going to talk about our expectations. Originally, I didn't even plan on talking about Halloween Kills, but then I started thinking about it, and I was like, we have to talk about something. So there's a couple of things that we're actually going to talk about that kind of sprung on me today. We're going to talk about our expectations for Halloween Kills. We're going to talk about a petition that was recently came out.
Oh my God, are we really
satirical? Just a little bit. I'm going to share a couple of things. I was out of town this weekend, and I actually I had the opportunity to go to a really cool place, and I wanted to share a little bit about that with you guys. We're also going to break down the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer. I know we didn't get a typical reaction to that but I knew I was going to be out of town, and I texted Miguel, and I was like, let's just do a breakdown of it on the next show instead of doing a reaction, because I have to watch it. My dad texted me when it dropped and was like, "Did you watch?"
Yeah,
he was like, "Did you watch the trailer?" And I was like, "No." And
he's talking about the Resident Evil trailer, guys. Yeah. And like literally, I was just sitting in Einstein's, and I was just like on my phone, and I see it scrolling through Facebook. And as soon as I'm not lying, like 10 seconds into watching, I get a call from Brad and says, "Hey, what do you want to do about this Resident Evil trailer?" I said, "Well, I'm watching it right now, so whatever we want to do now. It's too late. I'm already in." So
yeah,
it worked. It worked out.
Yeah, for sure. And we're also going to talk some movie news. We're going to talk some Spider-Man No Way Home. We're going to talk Scream. The new Scream poster dropped, and I actually just saw something. I think a teaser trailer might have dropped a little bit ago. For Scream, I don't know. I think
screenshots came out for the movie, and I think the poster came out, right?
The poster came out, which is what we were going to take a look at. But I think the actual trailer drops tomorrow, so we may have to hop on tomorrow, Miguel, and do a trailer reaction for that.
That's good.
We're going to talk the Hellraiser stuff, because there's a little bit of news that came out about Hellraiser, and then a little bit about the Batman too, to kind of round us out. So let me catch up on some of the stuff in the chat. Art, what's going on, man? He says, "Are you guys spooked yet?" I have been in the spooky.
We are spooked.
Yeah. Spooked. Art also says that petition is terrible, so laughable. We're going to talk.
It is, and we'll talk more about it.
Respectfully, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, respectfully.
He also says I'm kind of hyped for the Scream trailer. Yeah,
Scream is like an underrated kind of hype. You know what I mean? Like we know the premise of what's to come of that movie, but it's still a great horror movie. It's real.
I know. I'm excited for Scream, and I'll kind of explain what I mean in a little bit. But I think they need to do something huge with this movie, like completely go off the rails, do something wild, for it to really matter. I've never been the biggest Scream fan, and I don't really know why. I have an appreciation for it. Love Wes Craven.
I know you bought the Scream mask before.
I actually don't. I don't have a copy.
Every single kid worth their salt of their
I
childhood.
might have
just
used
bought
to,
one.
but I don't have one now. And fun fact, I don't own a single Scream movie on DVD or Blu-ray.
That's fine.
I don't. I mean, like I said, I have an appreciation for the Scream movies, especially the first two. But I don't know. It's never been my favorite franchise. It never has been. So I don't know. Art says he's kind of hyped for the Scream trailer. Yeah. And yes, we will do a live reaction to that. Indie Phantom, no, the trailer. I don't believe, Miguel, double check me on that. I don't believe a trailer's dropped. I think it's dropping tomorrow. Like on today's what, the 11th you said? I think today's the 12th. Or tomorrow. The trailer's dropping tomorrow on the 12th. That's what I'm trying to...
3 hours ago.
That's
Scream
what I'm
5
trying to say.
To release tomorrow by
Okay, so it'll release tomorrow. So yes, we will do a live reaction to that trailer tomorrow. Art also says, Brad, your hair is looking kind of interesting tonight. Thanks.
It is. Looks like a cow licked you.
I don't know if that was a backhanded compliment or not, but I appreciate it. Thanks. The Shape of Evil. What's going on, man? Nice to see you in here. I like the Scream movies, but don't watch them much. Yeah, I don't know. They never really did it for me. I don't know why.
I agree. And the only thing that made me like interested in the Scream movie was, again, it was a scary movie. Like the fucking yeah, exactly. Like it's dope.
That's all I think of.
That helped me watch the Scream movies.
Yeah,
it is what it is. I'm not gonna lie, it's good. Sure. It's good stuff. If you know someone that's like scared of like horror flicks, just let them watch those movies. Let them just take out the whole fear action, like make some laughs, and then they can watch it and not feel terrified of it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. So we're about 8 minutes in. I don't want to waste any more time. Miguel, where do you want to start? Obviously, our two big things are Resident Evil and Halloween Kills. I want to talk about my weekend a little bit, and then we have some movie news. So you want to do movie news first, save the big stuff for last? Do you want to get the big stuff out of the way?
Why does he always leave it down to me, as if I'm gonna I'm the one?
I don't know.
Throwing you into the little rabbit hole. So let's dirty our fluffy white tail, gentlemen. Let's talk about your trip real quick, because he's over here hyping you up, but this man went to Cleveland. There's no hyping.
Okay. So over the weekend, my wife and I went to Cleveland, and I thought this was cool. I mean, everybody, you might think it's not as cool. I don't know. So I didn't know this until we were actually getting ready to go. So the house from Bob Clark's A Christmas Story is in Cleveland. This is a shot from the movie.
That looks like a toy cast diorama. Die-cast.
It's not.
It's literally it looks fake as hell.
It's not.
Okay.
And we went to Cleveland, and the first place that we went was the house from A Christmas Story. So I took this picture. This is walking up to it. As you can see, it literally looks pretty much the same. Those two trees right here are gone. You can kind of see on the sidewalk in front of it where
however, the only type of advertisement they have of it is that small ass sign. I don't even know what it says.
Oh, no.
It probably says A Christmas Story.
Going up to it. Like, it says the Christmas Story house. If you're a Christmas Story fan, and if you've seen the movie a million times, you know the Bumpus house is right next to it. This is where all the hounds come in. The damn hounds! When they steal the turkey and they run around the table. The Bumpus house is there, and you can actually stay. Really, they're both Airbnbs. You can stay in the actual Christmas Story house. There's a third level. I think it's really expensive. Or you can stay in the Bumpus house, which the Bumpus house, they never really showed the inside, so it's not like it really matters. But there's basically there's the Christmas Story house on this side, the Bumpus house. There's a bar over here, and then there's a museum and a gift shop across the street. And they own kind of the four buildings except for the bar.
So pretty much like that block is like a tourist attraction. It's not like your typical drive by kind of thing.
It's in the Christmas Story house. Is in a district or a neighborhood called Tremont in Cleveland. And it's actually really nice. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I don't know why everybody gives Cleveland so much shit. Cleveland was dope. It was really cool. Like that part of town, Tremont we stayed in Tremont at this cool little Airbnb, not the Christmas Story house. But it was really cool, man. It was a neat little section of town.
Look, I'm sorry to any fans of ours that are from Cleveland, but I mean, in my head, I just thought there wasn't anything to do in Cleveland. I'm sorry, well, but hey, I'm sure I'll be proven wrong if I ever go up there. I'll probably love it, but I just never been. So,
but so it is plopped in the middle of the street. Like it literally like you're just driving down this neighborhood and then it's like, and boom, there's the house and there's the gift shop. And it's just kind of like, it's in the middle of everything. And it's funny because behind it, Cleveland's very industrial. Like there's a lot of like industrial yards and smoke and things like that coming out of like the, factories and rock quarries and stuff like that. And literally behind the fence is a huge hill that goes down to like a rock quarry, and there's smoke coming out of towers and stuff like that. So here's the street in front of it. This is the building you see like all the way. Oh, it really does. All the way to the left is the bar. Now, I didn't know any of this, but I thought this was really, really cool. So, A Christmas Story. I'm going to give you the lowdown on A Christmas Story.
Spoiler alert.
We actually had a blast here. Like, I thought this was one of the coolest parts of my trip. Gene Shepard, who is a novelist, he wrote a book called In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash. And it was kind of a compilation of stories that he pulled from his own life. And, it's funny because even on the poster, like in the gift shop, they have a huge Christmas Story poster, or in the museum, excuse me. And it says the whole, what is it? A tribute to the original traditional 100% red-blooded, two-fisted all-American Christmas or whatever like that. And over here on the west side of Cleveland, Bob Clark had heard Gene Shepard's book on the radio. He heard a section of it on the radio and he fell in love with it. And he was like, I got to do a movie adaptation to this. So he went to the studio. He was like, hey, man, I got to do this thing. I have to make this movie. I want to do this Christmas movie or whatever. And the studio was like, not until you make Porky's 2. I've never seen Porky's. Have you?
I've never seen Porky's.
Let me know if you guys have ever seen Porky's in the chat, guys. So he made Porky's 2, and then it was time for Bob Clark to make A Christmas Story. So he and Gene Shepard teamed up. If you're just joining us, Gene Shepard is the author who inspired A Christmas Story. So they teamed up, and they went driving around Cleveland trying to find the industrial park, trying to find locations to film, and they came across the house. And they fell in love with it. They absolutely fell in love with the house. It was everything they wanted, but it was kind of boarded up and it looked like crap. And they banged on the door for like 20 minutes. Nobody answered. So they went to, where's the picture? They went to this bar. They walked across the street. They went to this bar. They went to go get a drink. And they were talking. They're like, yeah, we're trying to scout for this movie, whatever, yada, 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 yada. And they were like, do you guys know who owns that house? And the only other guy sitting at the bar next to him was like, yeah, I do. They were sitting next to the owner of the Christmas Story house.
That's funny.
And they were like, dude, can we please, like, we have this movie we're trying to film. I'm sure they explained the plot or something like that. And they were like, we really want to film at this house. And the guy was like, nope, no way.
Oh, wow. What
he was like, I'm not doing that. So they were like, wouldn't
you want, like, if a scout, like a movie director is like, hey, we want to use your house for a movie, like, wouldn't you want to do that? I'm sure you'd be fairly compensated too.
I guess if you're private, like, I think it was an older man. He didn't really want to, like, I don't know. If you're private, I could see why it's not.
Be a kid, have some Christmas spirit. If someone told me they were having a movie of A Christmas Story, I would at least have some inkling interest, but to be flat out, no.
Yeah.
That man got coal all his life. Santa put him on the naughty list all year for the rest of his life for the past 20 years, and that's why he's a stinkler.
Yeah. So anyways, and you have to keep this in mind. Bob Clark and Gene Shepard hadn't seen the inside of the house yet. They literally only saw the exterior of this house, and they were like, that's it. We want to film there. This is going to be the house in the movie. So they pulled an investigative journalist from Halloween, and they were like, how does $20,000 sound? They paid this dude $20 grand to film this movie in his house. And
that's fair.
Another fun Christmas Story fact, they didn't even film the whole thing in the house. Half of it was filmed in Toronto, the house scenes. They had a soundstage in Toronto, which makes sense. And they filmed the rest of it. They filmed the rest of it in this Christmas Story house. And it's really cool because you can take tours of it and whatever. So across the street, there's a bench, and it's actually the cameo bench. It's where Bob Clark sat. Obviously, this is I forget the gentleman's name who plays the dad in A Christmas Story, and this is Bob Clark himself. He had a cameo in the movie. When the dad gets the leg lamp all situated, it's a major reward. Like when he gets it all like situated, and he runs out in the snow to go and look at it, and he's talking to his neighbor. Well, Bob Clark is playing the neighbor, and he's got this little plaque on the bench, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty dope little nod to him. But the inside of the house, there's the living room. It's got the lamp. There's the lamp. Now, it's not the lamp. They actually don't know where the lamp is. They said their best guess is that it's in a landfill somewhere.
Are you serious? Well, I mean, I guess back then you probably wouldn't have realized like the significance of this movie would have on people. So they just thought it was just some random prop, and they just threw it away after they were done with it.
Right. They had 3 lamps they made for the movie. The first one obviously breaks in the movie when she's watering her flowers and she breaks it on accident. And then I think the other 2 broke while they were filming too, but it's cool. You got the leg lamp. All the furniture is decorated. Excuse me. The furniture is decorated to look like similar. It's got a Christmas tree up. It's all decorated. It's got their pictures on the wall. It's got like the 4 of them. It's got the old vacuum. Here is me in front of the lamp. In front of the lamp holding the Red Ryder BB gun. The carbine action, whatever the whole diatribe thing he says.
Hey, Brad, I'm going to stop you real quick. You keep talking. I got to get out for a second, all right? I'll be back, guys. Don't worry.
You are good. You are good. So I held the Red Ryder BB thing. I also got to hold the leg lamp. And again, it's not the leg lamp, but it's a leg lamp, and it's in the whole Fragile Italian. It's in the whole thing. It's just pretty cool, man. It's cool. They let you touch everything in the house. They had Ralphie's bedroom. And I believe you can stay in this. Like, it's an Airbnb. You can stay in there. Now, I'm sure, again, it's not the original props from the movie. But it's just pretty cool. It's just a pretty cool... it's just a cool set. It's cool to walk around and see it. The bathroom where he's writing the Ovaltine thing. They have the red bar soap that his mom put in his mouth. After he said the F word, whatever. I mean, it was cool. It was really cool to kind of walk around to see it. And we actually ate in the bar in that restaurant, and it was good, dude. Julia had a grilled cheese with bacon on it. It was like the best grilled cheese I've ever had in my life. And then I had it was a jalapeno popper burger, and it was freaking lit. It also had habanero sauce on it, so my ass was lit up for the next like 20 minutes. But it was delicious. So I wanted to share that with you. That was just a cool little find. Again, if you're just joining us, I had the opportunity to go to the actual house from A Christmas Story in Cleveland. It was cool, man. It was a really cool time. It was really neat to see the inside of that house, to hold a leg lamp and to see the BB gun and stuff. And I have a whole bunch of other pictures, but these were kind of the highlights. So let's go over to the chat room. Let's see what you guys are saying. Miguel's sarcastic tones are as iconic as Michael Myers. That's right, man. That is right, Art. Do you guys have the sexy leg lamp from A Christmas Story? No. Oh, no. But actually, my wife bought. It's about this big. It's not very big at all. But it's a nightlight, and it's plugged in. It's plugged in our living room right now. You just push a button, and it's the leg lamp with the dangling things around it, and it lights up. It's really cool. Stu's house in Scream is I saw that. Stu's house in Scream is an Airbnb now. You can stay in there, and I think the pictures looked really cool too. Like it's actually set up like Scream was in the film. That's pretty cool. Screw an Airbnb. I'm going to the bar. Yeah, man, it would be cool. I don't know if I'd want to stay in there though. I don't know if I mean, we stayed in Airbnb and it was great. I had never used Airbnb before, but it was great. We loved where we stayed. Red Fanatic, what's going on? And he's back. Miguel is back. Red Fanatic, what's going on, my man?
Sorry, guys.
Do you remember me? Do you remember? Yes, we do remember you from the last stream, buddy. Now, Miguel, before you rudely interrupted me,
I'm so sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm sorry. My dog got out. I had to go get him.
I'm kidding. You're good.
It was funny because he was literally within 50 feet away from me, and I could see him, and he saw me, and I was like, Milo, get in the house, and he just ran straight into the door. I said, thank you, my man. As my dad got in the car and started chasing him, it was funny. But here we are again. So what'd I miss?
I'm going through the comments. I got through some other pictures. Oh my God, dudes, you need to see Porky's as a watch along or something. The sequel's not as good, but such fun comedies. I know nothing. I mean, I guess it's a Bob Clark movie, but I've never heard of Porky's. If you don't know, the same guy, Bob Clark, who directed A Christmas Story, also directed Black Christmas from 1974.
Dude, Porky's looks like a movie that's similar to American Pie. What are we doing here, guys? I was thinking it was about I thought it was about a pig.
Our tour guide actually described it as the American Pie of the 80s or something like that. Like I remember her saying that now that you say that.
Yep, it is. I'm pretty sure. Because literally I looked up Porky's and the first thing I saw was a bunch of girls in the shower with towels covering themselves. That's the first thing I saw. So I was like, okay, so it's one of those movies. I'm sure it's funny. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Have you seen it, Brad? Revenge of the Nerds?
No.
Boy, that's a pretty dope movie. Guys, if you guys have not known, let Brad know how funny Revenge of the Nerds is, because it is by far one of the funniest movies of the late 80s, I think. I think so. When did it come out? 1984. Yes.
I've heard of it. I've just never seen it.
Revenge of the Nerds is fucking hilarious. I love it. It's great. It's literally just about a bunch of nerds that go to college and they start their own fraternity and they try to live college life as a fraternity. Lambda, lambda, lambda. It's fucking great. It's great, guys. It's a great movie. So we need to do a watch along of that. That one's funny.
Cool. The Ox says 70 hours, man. 70 hours until Halloween Kills.
I was waiting for that.
Indie Phantom says, this is like First Blood, which was filmed in Hope. They paid the dude to blow up his gas station and built him a new and bigger one. Yeah, but I mean, the only difference is they weren't blowing up the Christmas Story house. Could you imagine? Merry Christmas, kids. Like,
what did I miss?
We were talking about the Christmas Story house and how they paid the guy.
They try to blow it up?
The investigative journalists gave him 20 grand. No, they didn't try to blow it up.
Oh, okay.
Jalapeno Bopper Burger is dude. It was literally, I'm not shitting you, Indie Phantom. It was 2 buns with cream cheese, a burger, more cheese, 2 jalapeno poppers, and then habanero sauce. Which is probably like I was eating a heart attack, but it was
that sounded like a heartburn ready to happen.
Miguel, we ate in the bar that I told you that Bob Clark and Sean, whatever his name, Gene Shepard, when they went and talked to the guy to film in the Christmas Story house, we ate in there and it was amazing. It was.
I would love to check that. That's probably the only thing I would be willing to go to in Cleveland, is checking out that bar.
Yeah, definitely. Red Fanatic, who's ready for Halloween Kills? Me. Indie Phantom says Porky was the most successful Canadian flick. If you like Revenge of the Nerds, you should. Yeah, man. We'll have to check out.
Okay.
We're gonna have to check out Porky's, definitely.
Yep.
Joseph Azuna, what is going on, man? I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before. Good to see you here tonight.
Welcome.
Chris Colwell, I don't care what's in the trailer. I'm going to enjoy the mayhem. Yeah, I'm kind of past caring about the Halloween Kills trailers. I'm like, you know what? They're out there. I'm gonna watch them. I've seen the TV spots. I'm like, let's do this thing.
Pretty much, yeah. So
if you're just recapping, I got to go to the Christmas Story house, Bumpus' house next door, at the bar across the street. Miguel, I don't know if you even saw these, the Red Rider gun, me holding the lamp.
I did. You got to touch. Oh, okay, that's fair. Since it's
again,
not like
it's not like the lamp. It's just a replica. Ralphie's room, the kitchen, the bathroom with the bar of soap. It was
And
cool,
you can Airbnb that?
You can Airbnb that. I don't know if I'd want to though. I'd feel a little weird.
I know. Why would I want to spend like, I don't know, that thing's probably like $2,000 for like 3 nights,
It's
and
expensive.
why would I spend like thousands of dollars to spend 3 days in a house that creaks? No, give me my 5-star at the Hilton Hotel.
It was built in like 1886 or something like that.
Yeah, and
like,
I doubt it's like well kept up. I'm sure it made look pretty, but I'm sure like the foundation of it is like on its last limb. I'm almost certain.
If you guys haven't seen Fast Times, dude, I love Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That is an amazing, dude. You would love Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Amazing movie. All right, so let's do this. Since everybody's talking about Halloween Kills, in the chat, Red Fanatic says awesome pictures. Thanks, man. I have a ton more, but it was just we had a good time this weekend, my wife and I. So since everybody's talking about Halloween Kills in the chat, let's go ahead and talk some Halloween Kills because it is Halloween Kills week. The Oct already said it. Where'd it go? Let me find it in the chat. We have 70 hours until the release of Halloween Kills. First of all, when are you guys going to see it? If you're going to see it in the theaters, or I guess if you're going to watch it on Peacock, if you're here in the US, drop it in the chat. When are you going to go and watch Halloween Kills? Miguel and I are going to go on Saturday. We got our tickets early. I want to go with my dad because my dad and I have seen the last 3 Halloween movies in theaters together. So we're going to go on Saturday with my parents, me and Miguel and Julia, and it's going to be great. And it's
going to be a good old time. It's going to be a good old time because it's going to be a full day because what time are we going to go see that? 8 o'clock?
8:30.
8:30, yeah. So like I'm literally going to be from 11 o'clock to 8 o'clock. I'm going to be pre-gaming that fucking Halloween movie because if you guys don't know, we're from Kentucky, so UK is playing on Saturday. I think it's Georgia. We're currently I think it's 5-0, so it hasn't been done since 1950s or something. So we're hyped for that game, and I'm gonna be drinking a lot. And by the time Halloween Kills comes up, I'm gonna be plastered all the hell. So I'm
well, you
sorry
gotta be able to drive because I'm not picking your ass up.
I'm sorry for whatever your parents are gonna see, but yeah, it's gonna be a grand old time.
So, like I said, I didn't plan on talking about Halloween Kills, but I mean, it's the week of the release, so what the hell? We kind of have to. And I'm off this week. I'm off all this week, so I'm planning on, as I do a couple other things as I work on the show, I'm probably going to watch the whole franchise this week because that's probably going to be the time I'm going to get to.
Yeah, fair.
Get to watch them all. But I was actually, I cleaned out my garage today, and I was listening to Dave McRae's show, and he was talking about some of the reviews. And I've actually been reading some more of the more recent reviews. And again, I'm not going to go into spoilers. I'm not crazy about spoilers. I mean, I don't know that like if the door is painted green, like it's the movie's ruined for me. Like I'm not one of those people.
Have you met people that do that?
Dude, there are people that freak if they even see like a picture of him, or if they even like literally seeing people run around in the hospital and nothing else would be a spoiler to them. So I mean, yeah, like I
wonder if like how many people like swore off trailers for this movie? Because I get it, but I mean at the same time, like I want to be more hyped. Like I feel like the trailers are supposed to hype me up, and I'm cool with that. I don't feel like they spoil much for me because I don't think too deep into it.
And really, I don't think these trailers have been that spoilery. I really don't.
Really.
And I mean, a lot of people that have even seen the film are like, no, like you have seen nothing. Like you know nothing yet.
You know nothing.
Even with the shot of Loomis standing on the Myers porch with the 30 cops with their guns pointed, like I still think that we haven't seen very much of this movie yet.
There's still more to come, and yeah,
there is still more to come.
Even I'm sure like within like since we're down to 70 hours left, they're gonna be more and more TV spots. Some of them may like hint at a lot more than what we should watch, but I mean, hey, it's not gonna spoil anything for me, honestly.
Yeah. Do you guys know the Dead Pit Show? They're also from Kentucky, but you guys don't have heavy accents. Well, I'm not. I wasn't.
Thank you for that compliment.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm really from Florida. I wasn't born in Kentucky. I've lived here for a decade now, so I never really picked up the accent.
Born and raised here in Richmond, Kentucky. So I kind of have an accent, but it's not as obvious, as you can see, noticeable as you would think as a a more Eastern Kentucky fellow. So like I appreciate that compliment because I always think about it sometimes. People make fun of me all the time. There was a funny thing. I was going to Brad's place, I think last Saturday for the Halloween thing, the Halloween marathon, and I got up to like some Love's truck stop, and I was just buying me a drink. And I walked up to the cashier, and she was like, "Good afternoon." And I walked up to her, and I was like, "Howdy." And she looked up. She was like,
"What's going on, ma'am?"
She was like, "You're not the type of person that would say that." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, right? Brown dude that says howdy. Yeah, you'd be surprised what you'd find here in Kentucky." So
I also got my steel-toed boots and my cowboy hat on.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Joseph Azuna says, never been here before. Red Fanatic sent me the link. That's awesome, man. Red Fanatic, thanks for sending him the link and for sharing us, man. Yeah, by the way, if you guys haven't yet, like this video, send the link out to somebody you know. We really appreciate that. Joseph also says, should I see the original Halloween movie first? If you're talking about 1978, yes.
Yeah.
Watch that before you go see this. And that's actually kind of a good segue into what I was going to talk about, because I've read through, we're not going to look at any reviews here on the show or anything like that. But after reading through a couple more reviews and even hearing Dave talk about a couple of them on his show. And if you don't understand the whole Rotten Tomatoes thing and how that works, I'll even put the link to it in the comments after the episode's done. Go watch Dave McRae's last episode of McRae Live. Nobody can explain the way Rotten Tomatoes works better than him. I mean, he does an amazing job at it.
Well, give us a rundown, because I've always been curious about that.
Well, basically with Rotten Tomatoes, Dave makes the great point that like we live in a world where like if it's not a 10 out of 10, people assume that it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not true. When you start getting into 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, that's like or like 30%, 40%, the majority of critics don't like it. Mm-hmm. But if you give a movie a 6 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes, a 6 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10 are essentially the same exact score. Like it works it's like you're giving it the same score.
Yeah.
So if everybody gives the movie a 6 out of 10, it doesn't mean it sucks. It's still fresh. Like it's just you have to actually read what they're saying about it. Don't just look at the score. The score itself is almost irrelevant. You have to actually look at what their review says. What are they saying about the movie?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, man. Dave had an incredible show on that. I think it was last Wednesday. But after I read through some of the reviews a little bit, I saw one guy tweet out, I don't, was it Brandon Davis from Comic Book? I don't know if it was him. It was somebody, but they had been to a screener. It was a couple nights ago. And they were like, just saw Halloween Kills. Wow, I need a drink. That was a lot. Like stuff like that.
Oh, wow. It didn't start out good for me. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna darken that bit, but
no, but there's some commonalities between all of the reviews.
Okay.
And I kind of have them written down here. The first thing is that it is pure chaos. Like the movie is pure mayhem. It is pure chaos. It is just nonstop. You don't breathe at all. It also relies a lot on your knowledge of previous characters, of Marion, of Tommy, and of Lindsay. Not just Lori and the characters from this and her family from this. I want it not new timeline, but from 2018. But I mean, half of the movie is characters from the original movie coming back. And from what I've kind of read, and you can look at all of this, I mean, there's not a lot of Jamie Lee Curtis. I think the standout characters are Allison, Karen, Lindsay, and Tommy. And I think part of what I've seen a lot of people complain about
is that not enough Lori.
Well, not only that it's not enough Lori, but all of these characters that they're bringing back, it's just like, all right, here's Tommy. Here's like 30 seconds of him explaining how this affected him. Moving on. And I think this is going to be a very loaded movie. Would you kind of agree with that?
That could possibly pose a problem. I'm curious what you guys think, because,
well,
as you guys know, we can all agree that like a loaded movie can seem too overwhelming to enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, if there isn't enough like time to actually have decent exposition, and if you're having to rely on source material from outside of the movie, that can really take away from the initial impact of the movie. It's kind of like saying you have to watch these movies to make this movie make sense, which I don't mind, because, you know, obviously we're Marvel fans, so we kind of enjoy that. But what makes those types of movies so great is some of those Marvel movies, they stand out pretty well on their own. Like, you can watch the movie without having to go to any source material. They're just pretty stand-up movie. So this Halloween Kills, according to what you're saying right now, it sounds like it's going to be very source material reliant. And I mean, that's cool, but I'm fortunate enough to have you to like absolutely just run me through everything. Because if I were to watch Halloween Kills on my own, I wouldn't know who the fuck that bald man is. I wouldn't know who any other little shitheads I see over there, any other people that die. I just assume they're just like B-list actors that just got paid just to die in the movie. So like, I wouldn't have known anything. So I wouldn't have the same amount of connection to the movies as, say, some of you fans out there and as you would. So I'm fortunate to have that. But as a normal audience member, it's going to be a tough sell, which now I kind of see why some of the reviews are kind of dogging the movie, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Right. And I mean, you kind of have to think about it this way. To hardcore Halloween fans, we get it. But to the random random person, you know,
not gonna hit.
It's hard, because we also have the knowledge of Paul Rudd as Tommy, and seeing Loomis all those years kind of going crazy and seeing all these different things, like, but none of that exists. And it almost seems like there's more backstory, or there's not enough backstory for what they're trying to portray in Halloween Kills. Does that make sense?
You just blew my mind right like a couple seconds ago, telling me that Tommy Doyle was Paul Rudd.
Yeah, it was Paul Rudd's first movie in Halloween 6.
He does not look like Paul. He does not look like Paul Rudd. That's what's scaring me right now.
I mean, it was baby Paul Rudd. He was probably like 19, but he was Tommy, man. So the big question here the biggest question that I'm trying to ask you guys, and what kind of came to my mind today, after knowing that this movie is chaos, it's mayhem, it's blood, that there's not really a lot of like exposition moving forward. It is literally just chaos for an hour and 47 minutes straight. What do you all want out of Halloween Kills? Do you want chaos and blood, or do you want a really intricate, elaborate story?
Because I'm not going to lie, guys. It's going to be 50-50 right now in my eyes. It's going to be 50-50 whether we get a decent amount of backstory or exposition in this film, or we just get pure chaos, which I don't know. I wouldn't mind just pure chaos, because as your usual Halloween fan, I mean, they all love the movies because it was mainly like a stalking kind of Michael Myers that just hid in the shadows. This one right here is just a full-on rampage Michael Myers. Like his his middle name is Michael Rambo Myers. Like, for fuck's sake, this man's going all out.
He's gonna tie a red bandana around his head.
Yeah, like First Blood, he's gonna blow up a gas station, guys. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I mean, what are you gonna expect? I'm curious as to what. I don't even know what I'm gonna expect. I'm just watching this movie with fresh eyes right now, with an open mind at this point.
Well, and I mean, guys, please, there's 9 people watching right now. Let us know. Put in the chat, what do you want out of Halloween Kills? Like, do you want the blood? Which, I mean, it's going to be bloody. It's. I'm sorry about your luck if you don't want it to be bloody, but like, the movie he is going to kill a lot of people in this movie. And the more and more I think about it, and even if you watched our watch along of Halloween 78 and Halloween Kills from a couple weeks ago, the more and more I think about it, the more and more Halloween 2018 almost feels like a prequel to Halloween Kills, even though they take place within 6 hours of each other.
Wait, elaborate, please.
It feels like Halloween 2018 was just here was Halloween 2018, here was Halloween Kills. Like, that's kind of what it feels like. And I think I'm okay. Obviously, I want the story to be decent. I mean, I don't want it to just make no sense and for these characters to just come back, show their face, and die. Like, that's not what I want. I want there to be meaningful exposition about their
trauma.
I'm gonna say the word trauma. I know Jamie Lee Curtis is like, it's about trauma with women, and like, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that.
Wait,
I know Jamie Lee Curtis keeps trying to push this whole thing about like generational trauma with women, and I mean, she has been for a while, which is fine. That's okay. I have nothing against that, but it's just, I don't know if that's necessarily the undertone. I guess it could be an undertone of the movie. I remember
trauma.
Them,
like, it's not
right. It is.
It's like the underlying theme of it's gonna be about trauma. Like, everybody's coming back and they're gonna explain what the fuck this maniac did to them. Right. So I mean, yeah, it's gonna be filled with trauma.
My head keeps going back to what David Gordon Green said originally with Mob Rules, the running title of the movie, or the production title. It's about mob violence, and it's about mob mentality and what people do when they panic, because people do crazy shit when they're afraid. And I think that is what Halloween Kills is going to be about. I think that is the reason why it's so crazy and why it's going to be so freaking wild from the get-go. And you like, I think I'm going to really enjoy this movie. I think I'm okay with it being kind of insane the entire time. Like, I think it'll be different. I know we're not going to have a lot of breathing room. I know there's probably not going to be a ton of exposition. And again, as long as we hit the big cylinders, and as long as we hit the big things with the characters, and again, if we bring up their trauma and how it's impacted them, I think it'll be fine. I just don't want it to be like, hey, Tommy, oh yeah, I remember you from the first one. Okay, moving on. Hey, Marion, I remember you. You were riding the car with Loomis, and moving on. Lindsay, you're going to find those kids. They're going to kill everybody in the car, and then here we go, move on. Like, there's got to be some more exposition than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I gotcha. But, well, I don't know. I don't know. Again, like, fairly new to this. So it's not like I'm going to the movie with a checklist. If you're going to that movie with a checklist, you need to reevaluate your love for movies and just cinema in general, because that's not the way to enjoy a movie. Is say, oh, it has to this has to happen, this has to happen. If it doesn't happen, not about it. You need to go. You need to go in there with an open mind. This is their take on what they think would happen, and you just got to be there along for the ride. It's like you're not going to a roller coaster and saying, I want 3 loops, I want to spin around, and I want to throw up 5 times. No, you don't know what to expect. You're just there for the ride. Like when I went on fucking Diamondback and Kings Island, I didn't know what to expect. I just knew I was gonna piss my pants by the second turn, and let it be known, there it was. Yeah, So yeah, I'm just there for the ride at this point, man.
I think it's the same kind of thing as people who were disappointed with Endgame. The people who were really disappointed by Avengers Endgame are the people who went in with their legal pad of this has to happen, 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 this has to happen. And of course, Endgame took a couple of turns that like we weren't, at least for me, it took a couple of turns that I wasn't expecting.
It took
Endgame, Endgame was a much different movie than I expected it to be. We knew it was going to be about time travel. We knew people were going to die. Like we knew stuff. We knew it was going to go down, but it was different than I expected.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to go into Halloween Kills with a checklist. Honestly, we watch a movie, Dave McRae, all those people that I usually listen to. If they do reviews before you and I have a chance to go see it, I'm probably not going to listen to them until after we see it because I want to go in enjoying it. I don't want to think about it like a critic. I'm not a critic. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I want to enjoy it.
We are not critics. We're just people that love movies, and we just want to talk about movies that we love, and that's simple as that. And
definitely,
again, when we do the review for this movie, I'm gonna share my initial thoughts on it because it's not like I have anything to go back on, like your typical Halloween fan. Which I think is pretty dope for me to have because like I'm going in there with fresh eyes. And I'm not at all sitting there with a checklist like, oh, I hope this happens, la yada yada.
Right.
Like I'm just here for the ride at that point.
For sure.
One thing I don't want to do though, one thing that I am curious about is I low-key don't want to know his backstory. I still don't. That's not a thing I want to see.
Yeah,
that's just one thing I don't.
I'm a little nervous about that whole him sitting at Judith's desk, like, looking at himself, like that's kind of like, where are we going here?
It's a little. If I hear this man, if I hear this man speak, and he has a high voice, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, we're going somewhere.
He sits down and he's just like, could you imagine? He's like all stoically, slowly, like he usually does, and he sits down and goes.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that.
And then, of course, he sees everybody walking towards the house.
He sits down. He's like, bitch, fucked up my finger.
Well, he sits there and looks in the mirror. He's like, God, I look terrible.
I need a new mask.
He sees people running down the street with baseball bats and shotguns, and he's like, alone. Like, I'm done. I want to go to bed. I'm done. I'm home. Leave me alone now.
Yeah. He looks at it and he sees his mask and he's like, is that hardware store still open? Like, I need a new mask. Which, by the way, there was something that I noticed. Like, he robbed the hardware store, right? What hardware store has a mask like that? I've been to an Ace, I've been to a Lowe's, I've been to a Sears, and I've never seen a mask like that. What type of protection are you getting from that as a utility worker? You're getting no sense of protection. Well, I guess OSHA took a fucking leap here.
They might have sold Halloween stuff there.
Oh, it was Halloween. Okay, fair. I'll give him that.
What?
My bad. That totally just like, there was a total gap in my head right there. I was like, in my head, I was just thinking, I was like, what sort of precautions do people have going to a utility store buying a rubber mask with flammable hair? That's just something that stuck in my head when I was watching it.
I don't know.
So I don't know. That was me.
So that's just a little bit about kind of our expectations for Halloween Kills. Again, if you're watching right now, we have 6 people in the chat. Please leave us a like and drop in the chat. Let us know, what are your expectations? What do you want to see from Halloween Kills? This is going to be our last episode, I think. I mean, we'll go live tomorrow, and I don't know, we might do a little bit of Q&A about it or whatever for the Scream trailer, but this is going to be one of the last times before we see it, Miguel, to talk about Kills, which is pretty wild. It's kind of crazy.
Are we excited for it? Yeah, we're pretty excited for it. My butthole is puckered still right now.
Anyways, so let's check this out. Speaking of Halloween Kills, there is a petition. Now, before we get into this,
we're going to talk about this one. Okay.
before we get into this, be nice. People in the chat, be nice. I'm not here to make fun of somebody. I'm not. That's not what this is. But there's a petition to remove the slaughtering of the firefighters from Halloween Kills. So essentially, this picture right here, they want gone. They don't want to see that in the movie. So let's read this thing. It seems people aren't as excited about the newest Halloween movie as we are. Specifically, people who feel that the firefighters should have immunity against a masked serial killer who has supernatural powers. Jesse Streeter created a request to stop the slaughtering of firefighters at petition.org this past June. The petition has recently caught online momentum as opening day for Halloween Kills draws nearer. Streeter says they are becoming a firefighter and it's disrespectful to kill one, especially after one tried to save the killer's life. The scene in question comes presumably at the beginning of the film when our final woman, Laurie Strode, is being whisked away to the hospital after having blown up her house in order to kill Michael Myers. Let's let them explain it in their own words. So the petition reads, I want this scene in the new movie Halloween Kills where they show the slaughtering of firefighters. It is wrong. Hold on. I want the scene in the new movie Halloween Kills where they show the slaughtering of firefighters.
That sounded contradicting, Jesse.
I read that correctly, right?
You read that correctly.
Like I'm actually asking. I'm not being funny.
Kills where they showed the slaughtering of firefighters. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that I actually read that correctly. It is wrong because firefighters have been lured to houses fire and murdered by the person who set the fire. And it's wrong that Michael killed the firefighters with the gear from the other firefighters he killed. As a soon-to-be firefighter, I find it very offensive, and so does my mom and dad, who are retired firefighters. So I want the scene taken out of the movie. Michael didn't have to kill them in a way. They saved him, so he should have saved the two firefighters in the house went on his way to kill sister. There is no reason for that horrible, disgusting scene, especially since it has happened in real life. Like I said before, the firefighters have been lured to house fires and killed by some psycho in real life.
Jesse, he killed a kid. He killed a dog. He ate a dog. And he's killed plenty of first responders, policemen. And you're drawing the line at firefighters. The people, look, you can't draw a line wherever you want. You really can't. You can't just let all that shit slide. I would understand him. I would understand the whole petition to point where he killed a kid. I was like, that was some shit right there. What are we doing here, guys? Which I think, honestly, I don't want to it's just, any publicity is good publicity. This movie is getting a ton of hype because of this.
Did you just quote Eazy-E?
Yeah, I did. NWA. No, I don't know what I just threw up. So, but you get what I'm saying right now, right? Like Michael Myers literally killed a dog. Where's PETA? He ate a dog. Where's PETA? He ate a. No, he didn't eat the kid. He killed a kid. Like what? Where are we going? Like where's the uproar for those? For God's sakes! Look, I get it. I love firefighters. I hope to be a Cal Fire pilot. I would love to be an aeronautical pilot, a firefighter pilot. And yeah, I am nowhere near offended by that whatsoever. It's a slasher flick. Nobody is safe. Literally, the point of them dying is setting the tone that no one is safe. Nobody is safe. He's going to fuck shit up. And I'm sorry if that sounded offensive to to you, Jesse, and your family. Thank you for thank your parents for all the service you did, and I hope you do well as a firefighter. But for fuck's sake, it's a movie.
Okay. There's a lot that I could say. But again, I'm not here to make fun of anybody. I don't want to make fun of anybody. I'm gonna. That's why I said in the comments, be nice. I think we need to let a movie be a movie. It's fictional. It's a movie. B, it's a movie about a serial killer. Yep. Like you said, nobody's safe. I mean, he's killed kids. It doesn't matter if you are a psychiatrist, a teacher, a doctor, a police officer, a kid, a dog. It doesn't matter what you are. He's going to kill you because that's the movie. That's the story. Honestly, I wonder.
So he needs to kill more people. That's all I gotta say.
I wondered if this was satirical when I first saw it.
100. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It sounds satirical.
I mean that like truly. Like it. I wondered if it was supposed to be satire. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm kind of speechless. Like I've got family members that are police officers. Like I've got family members that are nurses. Like I have utmost respect for firefighters and for police officers and for law enforcement, for people in the medical profession. I am a teacher. I believe me. But again,
and we're not saying that to get a free pass for saying whatever we want.
Movie.
But yeah,
it is a movie.
There's going to be doctors dying in here. You realize that, right? There's going to be doctors dying in this movie. 100%. If the movie takes place at the hospital, there's going to be some doctors and some nurses dying. Like, there's going to be a lot of death. Like, a lot of people are going to get messed the fuck up. And the firefighters is just the tip of the iceberg. So that honestly, that makes sense as what I texted you before, because I was thinking the other day, I was like, either this is going to be a really dope horror flick, or it's going to be one of the most controversial flick within this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely. Honestly a 50-50 coin flip. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Like, anything can happen, and we're just going to have to take it at face value. So, in regards to this petition, no, not signing that.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, we are just talking about this because it's related to Halloween Kills. We're just reporting on it. So the plea has already garnered 12 signatures out of the 100 needed. Recently, some have left comments mocking it. Again, we're not here to mock it. I'm not mocking it.
But let's read it. One person even asked, can we start a petition to end this petition? This is dumber than Halloween Resurrection. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's stupid.
Yeah, and there was another plea. Recently, a petition has started on change.org to have the slaughtering of firefighters removed from the new Halloween movie, Halloween Kills, yada, yada, yada. I'd like it stopped as almost every person murdered in every horror movie had an occupation. Murder is what these movies are about. Literally, nobody is being hurt in the making of this movie, I assure you. The whole petition is stupid. I'm very certain that this is a huge crowd of Halloween fans who will agree. Y'all help me keep Michael Myers on business. Thanks. So, yeah. I mean,
Michael Myers is going to get canceled.
I mean,
I rag over him, man. He's getting canceled.
Again, takeaway from this: it's a movie. Let movies be movies. It's fictional. It's not real. What am I thinking? I don't even know.
There's really no way to say anything about this petition, because it's like. Because obviously you can't like say like, oh, I want to see firefighters get killed. You can't say that because that's fucked up for you to say. But at the same time, you can't like say serial killers have to have some type of moral code. They don't, especially this one.
But I mean,
this is like a monstrous Joker. Like, there's no sense of deliberating with this guy. Like, if he sees you, he's gonna murk you up, like 100%. Like. Headshot, right in the dome. Like, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get a chainsaw in the face. Like, there's nothing you could do to stop him from that.
If we're saying this about Halloween Kills, which again, it's rated R, it is fictional. It's a movie. It's not real. There were firefighters who helped with the actual firefighters who helped with filming this movie. Like, and they
take part in the scene.
I'm sure they were fine doing it. I'm sure they thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I don't think that it's offensive. And again, with all due respect to this guy who started this petition, with all due respect to firefighters, medical personnel, law enforcement, the works. if we don't let movies be movies, I mean, you could argue that Michael killing men is what's the word I'm looking for? Targeted. You could say the men killing women is targeted. Michael killing kids, Michael killing dog. I mean, like, where do you draw the line? It's a fictional story. It's just a movie. So I don't think this was intended to be offensive.
Yeah, it's literally,
dude, if you're watching, I don't think it was meant to be that way. So
I'm sorry, Jesse, but you can't draw a line like that and just say, hey, I'm offended at this one moment. It's the same thing as like comedians. Like, everyone laughs at comedians, but the second a joke comes out and you're hurt by it or offended by it, you automatically draw the line there. You can't do that. Like, there's no way you can do that, because that's like, a comedian's there to make you laugh. And whether you feel offended, no one else feels offended. That doesn't give you any, like, you can be offended. You have every right to be offended. But for you to just go on social media and just plaster all out saying how this movie is going to be offensive towards firefighters, I highly doubt that. Yeah. I'm 100% certain it's going to be a lot of firefighters are going to be like, yo, dude, we're about to see some of our bros get fucked up in this movie. Like, that's probably what's going to happen in all reality. Like, I could totally see that happening. Yep. But hey, look, this petition is clearly just, I honestly still think it's satirical in my head. Just because the way it's formatted in that thing you sent, the thing you just read right there, the way it was formatted, it looked so like, what's it called? It was written so poorly that it had to be satirical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's not, I'm sorry, Jesse. I think it's funny.
And there are lines. There are lines in how, honestly, this would make it really interesting episode too. Like, lines in Hollywood, like lines that you cross in film. There are 150%. There are lines that you can cross in movies where it's like, oh, that they shouldn't have put that in the movie. Like, that shouldn't have been in there. But I don't think this is one of those moments. This is not one of those moments. Like, it's okay. Like, if we draw the line at Michael killing firefighters, which they're not real firefighters. Again, it's fictional. It's not real. Nobody actually died. It's just a movie. If we don't let movies be movies, then it's like, where do you draw the line? And like I said, there are lines. There are lines in Hollywood of things that you don't cross. But this isn't one of them. It's just a movie.
Yeah.
So, that's all I'm going to say. Again, not making fun of anybody, not being whatever. But you got to let movies be movies.
Pretty much, yeah. And I'm sure those people were fairly compensated or whatever. If they were really firefighters, I'm sure they were well compensated. Like, after old boy took a chainsaw to the head, he probably went back to his chair and drank his coconut water and asked for like a soy latte to go with it.
And remember, old boy really didn't actually take a chainsaw to the head. It was fake. It didn't really happen. So that's enough with Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up there. We're about an hour in. So yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I don't know. Just kind of wanted to get everybody's thoughts on it, and to share our thoughts on it as well. So let's move over. Let's talk Resident Evil, Miguel. Okay. So like we said before, we didn't do a traditional reaction to the Resident Evil trailer. I was out of town. We couldn't make it work logistically. So I promised everybody that we would do a breakdown of that trailer on today's show. So Miguel, do you want to watch it through one time, or do you just want to immediately start breaking it down? First of all, hold on. Yeah, did you see the international trailer?
Was it longer than what?
It was a 10 times better trailer. I don't know why they didn't release that trailer.
Let's watch that one then.
Yeah, let's watch it. I mean, I've already seen it, but it is a million times better than the first trailer. I have no idea why they did not show this trailer first. So let's see here. Let me turn the volume down a little bit. So this is not the trailer we got kind of released extremely publicly, but this is the international trailer for Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
What are you doing out hitchhiking on a night like this, eh? Used to live here, you said. Raccoon City. Better you than me.
Watch out!
Oof.
She got flopped.
She hit that pavement, dude.
That's so bad for me to say.
And that's how the dog gets infected.
That's a shitty way, man. I'm not gonna lie.
This is already like the vibe of this trailer is way better, you know?
Yeah.
Lock the gates. Claire, why are you back here?
This whole town's been poisoned.
Oh yeah, I do have a lot to say about this movie. It just jogged my
If we
memory.
don't contain this, it could threaten the whole world.
Shall we go?
Come on.
What were Umbrella doing here?
They were experimenting on him.
This is my life's work. I'm not giving it to anybody.
I like how it has like a real Doom feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This trailer feels Resident Evil.
Umbrella is gonna destroy this place.
Just really want to get out of this town.
Oh, did he turn into a zombie right there?
Now, tell me that is not a 10 times better trailer than
I agree.
the first one.
I agree, but I do have some comments about the movie, honestly. Like,
I mean, I
some
think
things
that
I'm like very like concerned with. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you agree with me? Like, there's some things on that. In that trailer, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Red Fanatic says Resident Evil. Yeah, man, we're huge. I mean, you're a Resident Evil fan too, Miguel.
I am, yeah.
Like I've said it before on the show. Resident Evil is the thing that got me into horror. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I still haven't played 8, which I know is like blasphemy, but I just haven't had a chance
and
to
also
play it
like I'm pretty sure my opinion is probably gonna be like invalid because I'm one of the people that liked Resident Evil 6. So yeah, that says
I
a
liked
lot.
6. I mean, I don't think 6
like it.
I don't think 6 threw a stone to
To what?
To 4 or 5. Sorry, my phone was going off. I don't think 6 was as good as 4 or 5, but I still enjoyed 6. I actually really liked it a lot.
I liked it.
So which trailer do you want to break down? You want to break down the internet? I mean, we can do it both if we want. Who cares?
Let's do the international one because that one clearly had more to offer than.
I agree. I think it was. I mean, it was a lot of the same things too, but I think I think the international trailer was definitely it was the better, well put together trailer. So let me see. Can you guys see this? Okay. It looks like you can. All right. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit more. So let's do this thing.
What are you doing out hitchhiking on a night like this, eh?
This guy looks drunk. He looks like he's like low-key hitting on her.
Every truck driver ever. No, I'm kidding, guys. I love you guys. I love truck drivers.
He's
One
like,
of my friends is a truck driver. I don't want to say bad things.
what's a pretty girl like you doing out here in the woods? Like, that's
well,
like
really
the
though,
look he's
it's
giving her right now.
such a terrible stereotype. But yeah, truck drivers, they're pretty grimy.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just giving her a really funky look, and she's like, whatever.
Used to live here, you said. Raccoon
That's
City.
Claire, right?
Better use.
Yes, this is Claire. So
Okay.
obviously now they're coming up on a zombie.
Not the one getting hit by a truck, but
Oof! Now watch her hit the ground. Oh, man.
well, that's dead right there, right? That zombie's not getting up.
I mean, she was already dead, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think she was a zombie. I think at that point,
Yeah.
wasn't she?
Yeah. Red Fanatic, see him later, man. We will see you. I guess we'll see you tomorrow, maybe. Hopefully, if the screen trailer drops, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. So let's see. She slapped her face on the ground. Yeah, dude, she's a zombie. She's got to be a zombie already.
Yeah, that's 100%
Right?
a zombie.
I mean, don't you think?
I 100% agree. That was a dead ass zombie. But I don't know.
That's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
That is gross. I feel. What do you think the dog was eating, like in the production? I know Pete is probably going to kill somebody. They'd be like, guys,
Where's the line crossed?
there's
Another line that should be drawn, guys. Dog shouldn't eat blood.
It's probably
wonder-
like ground beef or something. Like it. I don't know.
Most likely. I could almost see that.
I also really like this siren effect. I think sirens sound. I've always thought sirens sound really eerie. Like it makes my blood pressure go up when I hear a siren, and like I don't know.
Even
the sirens
even
going
like
off through this trailer.
Even the
really got
emergency,
me.
like here in Kentucky, we have like the emergency broadcast system or whatever. It's like it does like their test,
Like
and
tornado
even
sirens
that one,
and
like
stuff.
yeah, like it's like it has like a kind of cool melody. But even hearing that, like if you hear something like that loud out of nowhere, yeah, it's gonna freak you out. Like 100%. Like no matter what, it's gonna freak you out. So yeah, I remember I used to be really freaked out by those.
Yeah, definitely.
But I like the fact, is the siren happening like during that?
Because no, I kind of think it's just kind of going on in the background of the trailer.
I gotcha.
So I mean, I could be wrong, but that's kind of the vibe I get.
Mm-hmm. I could see that, and I think it's interesting that we're starting out at Raccoon City. Do you guys understand why like I'm slightly like weirded out by this movie now? Is like the fact that we're starting at Raccoon City.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of one of my fears with this movie, and it could be great or it could kill it right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are trying to combine the first game and the second game, and really, depending on how they play it, even the third game, all in one thing. So that kind of, I don't know how I feel about that, because that's, I mean, again, if you're somebody like me who is like super into the Resident Evil lore, I mean, you can knock Resident Evil all you want, man, but Resident Evil has some rich lore. I mean, there is a lot going on with Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's the fact that they've been still going on since fucking
right
Nintendo 64. Like they've been going on for a while because there's so many source materials to just make whatever you want. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much story to tell. So hopefully they do it justice instead of just kind of rushing through the whole thing. And there's kind of another thing with Raccoon City that I'll kind of get to in a minute. There's the sirens again, man. Now, is this Raccoon City?
It looks like it, don't it?
Yeah, it is, because you can kind of see it on the water tower. Now, I don't know about you. And let me know what you guys think in the chat room. I envision Raccoon City as more kind of what it looked like in Resident Evil Apocalypse and Paul W.S. Anderson's Apocalypse, where it's actually kind of a city. This kind of gives me more small town up in the mountains vibe than, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm kind of like trying to find out right now, because there's obviously maps of Raccoon City, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, even if you look at like Resident Evil Outbreak, it's still, I mean, it's not like New York, but it's still a city. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It just looks like a town that I drive by here in Richmond, Kentucky. It looks like one of the smaller towns.
Yeah,
in my eyes.
It doesn't look very big. So that kind of,
and the fact that they're just gonna fucking nuke it. You know what I mean? Like you could do more than just nuke a small hometown. You know what I mean?
I don't know. The nuke almost seems like overkill for that little town.
It does, don't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. When you get the nuke scene in the games, or when you get the nuke scene in Resident Evil Apocalypse from the Paul W.S. Anderson series, like, it's got skyscrapers. It's a nice little city. This kind of looks, I don't know. It looks more small town vibe than city. So that's kind of, I'm not sure how I feel about that either. So let's go on.
Honey, we need to go now.
That's dope. That looks like you ripped it out of the game. Wholeheartedly.
Really?
Oh yeah. The police department looks identical in the games. They did a fantastic job with that.
Well, you saw like how when they did the aerial shot of it, like their main focus was the police department.
Right.
You could see the police department was the biggest
Yeah.
building there.
Right.
It's like, wow,
Which
the
is
police
weird
presence
because,
in that
again,
town
if
is
it-
pretty big.
If it's a small town, then like, why is the police department like
Huge.
the FBI headquarters?
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's a front.
So there we have Irons and Leon locking the gate. Claire coming home, dude. I gotta say, they nailed Chris. Chris
did.
looks
For
perfect.
young Chris, yeah, young Chris looks pretty spot on.
Yep. And honestly, even if he bulked up, I mean, I don't know what their plan is after Welcome to Raccoon City. I assume there'll be sequels.
Find out.
But I mean, if the dude bulks up a little bit, then I don't know. He might even pull off like older Chris.
Whole town's been poisoned.
That's a dope shot right there. You got the zombies getting through the gates at RPD.
Do you like the fact that they're going to be running?
Do you think they're going to run though?
Did you not see that? They look like they're hustling. They're not running, but they're hustling.
Let's go back. I don't mind if they hustle, but I don't want them to run. I don't want like 28 days later going on. I mean, I still want them to be kind of stumbly, like, because that's how they are in the game.
It looks like your typical Black Friday. You know what I mean? It just happens to be at the Raccoon City Police Department.
This is people running into Kohl's when the doors open at like 8 p.m. on
Pretty
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. This gave me COVID fucking PTSD from, people running out getting the fucking toilet papers.
Is it just me, or can you see my
She
mouse?
has no makeup whatsoever.
Can you see my mouse on the screen?
I can.
Is it just me, or does she look like she's not a zombie? Even this guy back here, they look like they're like people mixed in with the zombies that are just like, I'm joining their side. Like, they don't look like zombies to me.
The zombies don't really look that good to me, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that was something I was gonna ask you is what do you think do you like the zombies? I mean, obviously they're not gonna be very like decayed and nasty, but do you like the look of the zombies?
I guess that makes sense.
We've seen.
It makes sense why they wouldn't be as decaying. But I mean, look, man, they got a horde of zombies. So clearly they've been eating some fuckers up. So they have to have some blood in their face. They all look like as soon as they became zombies, they lost their hair. Do you see how many balding motherfuckers I see over here?
First thing to go.
Your hair, apparently, yeah. And and also that scene, as you can see, like the iconic scene where Chris finds the zombie in the mansion and he turns his head. Like that's an iconic scene. I didn't really like that zombie. You know what I mean?
Okay, it's okay. I'm not 100% sold, but hey, we'll see.
Yeah.
So there's a cool shot. We have Leon, we have Claire, and we have Chief Irons. So this is kind of the Resident Evil 2 storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we go?
There you go, dude.
I wonder where Chris
that
is. Like,
shot of the mansion. That looks dope. That is a really, really cool shot. Yeah.
Leon never went to the mansion. That's my thing.
I know. That's why when I knew that Leon was going to be in it, I was kind of like, what? He didn't come until part 2. But then, of course, they're kind of combining the two. So, I mean, I don't.
Okay, cool. Look,
I don't know.
directors can take liberties. I'm cool with that. As long as the story is dope and it meshes well, I'm all go for it.
As long
coming from a video game lover of the Resident Evil franchise, yeah, it's kind of off-putting, so to speak.
For me, as long as they service the game, I'm fine with it. I'm okay.
I gotcha.
So we're going into the mansion. Now here's that iconic shot that we were talking about. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the game, it's only Chris. It looks like there's a couple. It looks like Chris and Jill and Wesker maybe are there with they're together when they see the zombie turn around. There's probably the best shot of a zombie that we get.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks weird to me. Like, look at his eyebrow line. Like, his brow line is like stuck out. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, this is like some real odd. Oh shit. Do you guys remember? Like, I don't know if you guys have ever checked this out, but on Sci-Fi, there was a competition called Face Off, where
Oh
people
yeah,
would just
dude,
make
that show was
special
awesome.
effects. Yeah, this looks like if someone made that, they'd be eliminated first round. In my head, just
Really?
saying. I'm
Really?
just saying. Yeah, because again, you mentioned the brow. That was something I noticed too. It looks like someone just slapped a face prosthetic mask on them and just said fuck it to everything else. And what the fuck is that on his mouth? It doesn't like where's his teeth? Is that his teeth in
Where's
there or
his
is it just
jaw?
exactly? Like
I don't
what
know.
like
There's something about it. He also looks very white. He's
he
like
had no.
he's like
Here it
whiter
is.
than his lab coat.
He's it's his jawline. It's his jaw because it looks like his jaw just fucking shrunk. You know what I mean?
I guess he's in the middle of eating, so maybe there's like foods, like there's like flesh sticking out, and he's like his mouth is open. It still has a very, I don't know, it has a very strange look to it. All the zombies we've seen, they don't look like people who have just died and became zombies. They look very deformed,
they look like vampires.
Almost. Yeah.
They look like
Yes.
vampires.
Yes. He, dude.
This one right
He
here
looks
looks
like
like
a vampire from
Underworld.
What is it? The 30 Days of Night? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, 30 days and 30
That's
days
what
and
he
night,
looks
yeah.
like. He looks like a vampire. Good call.
Yeah, and also this scene right here isn't this like the first like appearance of a zombie like in the video games?
Yeah. This is the first zombie
This is the first zombie interaction that started the franchise. And I'm not sold on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't get I didn't get that same like oh shit we're about to see zombies vibe as I did when I first played the game. And it looks like we're gonna be and obviously we're starting in Raccoon City, so we're gonna see a lot of zombies. Like when we see this one, it's not gonna hit as hard as you think. You know what I mean?
Or as hard as you want it to.
Yeah, as hard as I would want it to. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this scene right here, it's again, this is me with my own checklist. I'll introduce my own fault here. Like I have my own checklist for this movie, mainly because like we haven't been given a decent Resident Evil movie in a while. So I have my hopes up. I have my expectations. And when I saw this trailer, that scene right there, I was expecting something completely different right there. I'm not gonna lie.
I am cautiously optimistic about this movie, but we just talked about Halloween Kills and having a checklist for that movie, or are not having, a checklist for that movie. I have a checklist. I have a little bit of a checklist for this movie. I'm like, okay, it's got to feel like Resident Evil. It's got to look like Resident Evil. Mm-hmm. When I see this, I have to feel like, wow, I'm watching a movie version of the game. Yep. And say what you will about Paul W.S. Anderson's first couple of Resident Evil movies, I really enjoyed them because it felt like the game to me. Like I got that same eerie, creepy, itchy, tasty vibe from, you know what I mean, from the movies as I did the game. So, I mean, I hope that this delivers on that. But again, looking at this zombie, it kind of looks strange to me. I don't know. Hold on. There was a lot there. We need to...
I know, right?
Is that Barry? That might be Barry.
I think so.
Shooting. There's a better shot right there of a zombie. That's okay. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
That's decent. That's a decent looking zombie.
But I'm not going to lie. You put fangs on that thing.
Vampire.
You have a vampire.
Look at how red his tongue is. Good Lord.
Man was sucking blood, man. Again, a vampire.
That's a decent looking zombie. I don't mind that. He kind of reminds me of the Crimson Head zombie, which I have. I have a whole bunch of Resident Evil action figures. I have one somewhere. So this looks like the. Are they zombies? Ooh, they might be.
It looks like it, don't it?
I mean, I
wouldn't be throwing a gentleman like that.
Who is that, Miguel? That he's pushing up against the wall.
It looks like Barry.
Is that Barry or is it Leon? I don't know.
I don't know.
That looks nasty. That looks
Dude.
disgusting. I don't really know what's going on here.
I think that's the fucked up zombie monster that's gonna follow them throughout the movie. You know what I mean? You know that scene right there? I think that's her.
Fair. So now we have Irons. He's obviously in the RPD lot. Now the dogs. Let me go back. Miguel, what do you think of the zombie dogs?
Well, you have to understand you have to understand the limitations they have. They can't use an actual dog. And
they did in the Paul W.S. Anderson movies.
Oh,
they were actual dogs with prosthetics. Yeah. Why couldn't they? It looks super fake to me. Like, I don't know. I really do. I'm going to be picky with this movie. Like, I'm not generally real picky about it, but with Resident Evil, I'm going to be super picky.
It's kind of ironic after that whole conversation we just had. But
I know, but this is the one franchise that I'm like, they really need to do it right.
Because we haven't seen one that's hit the mark. Paul W.S. Anderson took liberties of a video game franchise and did a decent job at it. It wasn't a pure adaptation, but it was a decent job at it. It was a different take on how the Resident Evil franchise would have gone.
Well, and I really genuinely enjoyed the first two Paul W.S. Anderson movies. I really, really did. But like Extinction, Afterlife, Retribution, like as we went on, it was just kind of like, what are we doing? Like, this just doesn't make, it didn't make any sense at all after that. And it felt more like Rambo meets the zombie apocalypse than it did. You know what I mean? It just felt, it was very strange. So I don't know. So let's move on here.
Vickers, this is Chief Irons. Pick up your damn radio.
Zombie. That's a cool shot right there of the helicopter crashing into the mansion.
I'm just saying, a grown man cannot jump right through that fucking helicopter.
Here's another thing I'm going to complain about it.
Are you going to complain about the liquors?
I'm not wild about the way the liquors look, man. I don't know. They look weird to me. It doesn't...
Out of place? What do you want? A grown man in prosthetics?
No.
Is that what you want?
No. I know it's got to be CGI. I'm trying to look up a picture of it on my phone, like for reference.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie though. Here's one little thing. A little tidbit. If I see that dog's face just split open and have like fangs on the side, like I'm gonna walk out. Like,
I don't know. It's not bad. I don't know. There's something about it. They look skinny. The face looks really skinny. I might be being a little picky about this one. I might need to calm down with the liquors, because I mean, like, I don't know if you guys can see, like, it's not bad. This is from Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, which I'm like, based on like the newer like versions of liquors, like they clearly bulked up, and this is like, I don't know. If I'm thinking like relatively into like the franchise, like this is just like, you know, the liquors just came out. They haven't had their daily dose of fucking protein. Who knows? Like maybe they'll get bigger within the sequel.
They need to take their creatine.
Yeah, they need
bulk
to
up a little bit.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. We'll see. There's a better shot. Look at the teeth. I will say the teeth look dope.
They do look dope, and that's a pretty cool shot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I'm assuming this is Hunk. Maybe it could just be an Umbrella agent, but I hope that's Hunk, because that would be dope.
Umbrella is gonna destroy this place.
Obviously, there's going to be some fights with Umbrella.
I just really want to get out of this town.
This is...
What the fuck is that? Really?
Guys, let us know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this? Because my initial thought is that this is Birkin after he's mutated. I'm looking at the cast list to see if it would be. I don't know. I don't know if this is, maybe this is Birkin after the Tyrant has mutated and this is like his new form.
I guess.
I mean, the eye, like looking at the eyes, I'm like, it could be Birkin. Like this could be the mutated form of Birkin. I could see it.
I mean, sure. But you gotta understand, like, I remember playing Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles, and whenever we were in the mansion, dude, we had to fight a fucking snake. Like,
I know,
where the fuck
but
were
from
we
what I
going?
understand, a lot of that, the snakes, the spiders, the frog hunters, the frog-looking, the hunter things, like a lot of those, I don't think are going to be in the movie. So I don't know. This kind of, I feel like if this is not Tyrant, if this is not William Birkin that we're looking at, I almost think like, why would you have this creature in here and not the others? You know?
Exactly.
So,
Which,
I don't know.
mean, I guess taking some liberties again, which cool.
How do you think this thing looks, whether it's Tyrant or not?
I mean, fuck, I don't know. Like,
like, what do you say about that?
Yeah, like I have no words for it. It looks dope.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it looks dope. I'd be freaked out by this. And you know what's fucking hilarious?
Yeah.
Redfield's literally gonna just pull up a fucking pistol and start shooting it. Like,
I know, right?
Like, that's not gonna do jack shit. They're not gonna get the bazooka until the very last second.
He's gonna be like, I have 6 rounds. And then it's somehow going to die.
I hope he collected enough herbs and stuff to make some healing factors.
All right, so let's rewind a little bit here. So obviously we have the Umbrella agents. They're fighting in Raccoon City. They're trying to contain it. Obviously, probably failing to contain it. They're going to have their run-ins with Leon, with the STARS members. This looks nasty.
Stars.
This is probably Annette Birkin, if I had to guess.
Do what?
This is probably Birkin's daughter, if I had to guess. I think something's going to go down with her. Could be wrong. Looks gross. Leon's got that rocket launcher.
Of course he gets a rocket launcher.
And title drop. That gives me 28 Days Later vibes. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes.
So, I don't know. There's the International Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer, man. So guys, let us know. What do you guys think? I don't really think there's anything different in the other. Well, there's a few different things in the other trailer.
No, it's pretty much, you get more out of this one, I think. Because, I don't know, I get the fact that, like, I don't know, like, it's, in my head with, like, Resident Evil, like, I feel like the first two were pretty much kind of, like, dealing with zombies. Like, I don't think the Umbrella was, like, a main, like, underlining villain behind the scenes.
Well,
it wasn't really prevalent.
In the first Resident Evil, it was more than part 2. I think part 2 was more about the Raccoon City outbreak and everybody just trying to get out, you know?
Yeah.
So, so real quick, let's go through the main trailer. We're not going to sit and watch it and break down every single moment. Just a couple of things. Couple of different shots of people trying to get out of Raccoon City. Umbrella's obviously not letting them get out.
Discover the origin of evil.
Why are you back here?
A lot of the same shots.
When we were kids, and not true now.
We need to expose Umbrella.
So was she like? Golly, my brain is lapsing right now.
Obviously,
how
Claire
does she know
is
about Umbrella?
Focus.
Yeah, how did Claire know about Umbrella?
I don't know. I think it's going to be I think the story is going to be slightly different in the movie than what went on in the games, which is fine. I just hope that I hope it services the games. I hope it does the games justice. Both of these trailers really make it seem as if Claire is going to be the main focus, which is cool. Claire is a great character. So we'll have to see. I don't know.
I'm afraid, Claire. I'm afraid of what they're going to do to this town.
See again.
I'm afraid, Claire. I'm afraid of what they're going to do to this town.
it looks small townish. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It doesn't look like a big city. It looks like a small little town up in the Arklay Mountains, you know? That's the worst advertising I've ever seen.
An umbrella is shelter from the storm.
Whoever does the advertising for the Umbrella Corporation needs to be fired because that's stupid.
I doubt with the amount of shit that they've experimented on, I doubt the money is going to advertisement.
All the shady crap Umbrella does.
Yeah, like I doubt advertisement is like on their top expenses.
People are getting sick.
A lot of the same exact shots.
It looks too CGI in my eyes.
I think it looks very CGI too. I think it's got a lot of CGI moments to it. Also, this song. Why did they add that stupid song? I mean, the song's fine, but like, it felt very.
I like the song.
It was,
but I don't know why
strange.
it's in the movie.
It was just a strange addition to this trailer. I was kind of like, what?
Shall we go?
What do you think of Leon, Miguel? The guy who's playing Leon.
He's a good actor. I only know him from Victorious, though.
I mean, the look of him though? Do you think he looks like Leon?
I mean, he's definitely doing all the mannerism of Leon. Like you see how he holds the gun.
That's fair.
Like that, yeah. Like he's trying to do all that, which I get. But again, I don't want to be the person to say it, but Leon is he's blonde, and that's usually how I like. He's a blonde dude with that shitty ass comb over haircut. So that's the only thing I describe Leon. That's it. But I guess we're not gonna get that one, which is cool.
Yeah,
fine.
So I think we're definitely gonna get some origin of Umbrella stuff. The mansion looks dope.
I love how they're keeping the same weapons that you would get in the first video game.
Yeah. There's our zombie friend again. All right, there's Itchy Tasty, man. There's Itchy Tasty. I know a lot of people were super excited when they saw that. So, and that's a. I mean, again, they're.
Who's Itchy Tasty Man? Who's Itchy Tasty Man?
What do you mean, Itchy Tasty Man? It's not a man.
You said
it's just it was something in the game. It was like a couple of different clues and stuff like that that were in the game. Let me. There's a book called The Unofficial History of It. It's just a phrase that was, it was just a phrase that like somebody used in the first game, like when they were infected and they started like kind of going insane and like succumbing to the T virus basically. So that's just kind of a nod to that.
Oh, okay.
Look at dude. Watch. She says, "Hello, good morning." She's coming through that glass door, dude. They might run. You might be right.
They're definitely running. They're definitely running. 100%.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's basically Resident Evil
meets 28 Days Later.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is something that I thoroughly like find frightening of that movie, but with Resident Evil, it's a certain type of zombie.
Right. That's fair. Oh yeah. Again, a lot of the same shots we've gotten. Same shot of the liquor. I don't think we really got anything at the end.
No, not really.
No, we didn't. So, I mean, there's the Resident Evil trailer, man. Guys, let us know. What do you think of the trailer for Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City? What are your expectations? What do you want to see from Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City? Again, I have kind of high hopes. I might have too high of expectations
after
this movie.
shredding
I really
that
might.
fucking trailer. Yeah, I have high hopes.
I mean, I don't think I shredded it. I want this movie to blow my mind and be incredible, but I'm a little afraid of how it's going to turn out.
Yeah,
just because I love it. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan.
Yeah, I think this is probably just going to be like a good it's just going to be a good iteration of Resident Evil. It's not like if you're a Resident Evil hardcore fan, don't expect much from this movie. That's all I gotta say.
I saw somebody on Facebook the other day. They commented on the trailer and they were like, "This looks like Resident Evil on the CW."
Wow.
I know. I was like, okay. I was like, I don't think it looked that bad, but I mean, whatever.
Which I mean, the CW is doing pretty good with their
I know.
I don't know. We see the Flash. If you guys know about the Flash, you see how bad their CGI is getting.
I know. So we'll have to see, guys. Let us know what you think of the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailers. All right. We have 4 news stories. We're about an hour and 40 minutes in. These shouldn't take too long. Nothing crazy. Just a couple of things. And Miguel, I want to start here because I knew that this would make you super, super excited. If you guys don't know, Miguel is an insane Godzilla fan. So I saw this on Bloody Disgusting. So Toho is bringing a 4K restoration of the original Godzilla film to movie theaters next month. Which is pretty cool. Yeah. Toho International is celebrating a 67th birthday of Godzilla. Dude, 67 years? He's that
67
old?
67 years. Yep.
Wow.
1954.
So they're celebrating in several different ways, and they're even bringing the original classic back to theaters. The press release announces today, Toho International is excited to announce a Godzilla-sized 67th birthday celebration November 3rd, kicking off with a world premiere of the 4K remastered Godzilla film released in 1954. Alamo Drafthouse Cinema will be hosting a nationwide world premiere of the 4K remastering of the classic 1954 Godzilla film. So a couple of things about their whole little party thing they got going on.
This little thing right here, though, this is like, where is it? In addition, throughout the first half of November, Alamo Drafthouse will screen fan favorite kaiju classics Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Shin Godzilla, a double feature. Godzilla vs. Hedorah is not a fan favorite. It's not
really.
It is really.
See, I don't know. You're the expert here. I don't know anything about those.
Godzilla vs. Hedorah is pretty much like a underlining movie about like killing the environment, and Hedorah is like a monster that's he's like a product of us fucking up the world. And this is the infamous movie that had the most interesting scene of Godzilla I've ever seen, which was Hedorah is getting away, and Godzilla, being big and luggish and can't really move fast and can't catch a flying monster, he decides to stand up straight, look down, and just literally fire beam himself up like a rocket and just push himself out. It's the most hilarious, outlandish shit ever. You could see the wires of the puppet going up and then going sideways. It is hilarious. And he doesn't fly forward. He flies backwards.
Yeah. So
he doesn't know where he's going. He's just going. He's just having at it. He's just like shooting his, I guess it's steam technically and back then, but he's just firing it like a steampunk engine, just going backwards, not knowing where he's going, and just somehow lands on Hedorah. And that's honestly, he's probably the most disgusting monster in the Toho franchise. It's not the best. I wouldn't say it's a fan favorite. I could think of 5 different other films in the Heisei franchise that would have been better. Just saying.
Yeah. So I'm not going to read all of this verbatim. The screenings will be held at over 24 locations across the U.S., including flagship theaters in New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and will mark 67 years since Godzilla's first appearance in Toho's. How do you say it, Miguel? What's the proper way to say it?
Where am I going right now?
The original name.
Oh, Gojira.
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 Yeah.
The classic monster movie, widely regarded as a masterpiece that continues to shape the course of worldwide pop culture. And as you said, they're also going to show Godzilla versus Hedorah, Shin Godzilla. I've actually seen, I don't remember where I watched it. I watched part of Shin Godzilla, like half of it or something, with like US dub. Or
it's like
subtitles or something like that.
Shin Godzilla is probably the most realistic
it's strange though too.
Movie as to like how would we react to like, you know, if Godzilla really did show up. Like most of the scenes is the government saying, what the fuck do we do, guys? Like they're like, we don't know what to do. And honestly, like the theories of Shin Godzilla is pretty interesting because obviously I think someone said that the Shin Godzilla we got wasn't even like a final form. Like he had stages of the transformation, and like that was not like the Shin Godzilla we got at the end was not the final form. Like there was more to his shit, and there was levels to this shit, and that would have been interesting to see. But
it's like a video game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when his health bar goes down, he just mutates more.
Yeah,
kind of like Resident Evil. Yeah.
Exactly like in Resident Evil, where they just keep coming no matter what you do.
Exactly.
So they've teamed up with a couple different people. There's going to be new Godzilla merch that they're going to drop on the official Amazon store. There's going to be the 1978 animated series. And there's also a new, I thought you would like this, Miguel. There's a new Godzilla documentary series that's going to be coming out as well.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Which is pretty cool.
To learn more about it.
Yeah.
That sounds I'm such a fucking nerd. I have a book over here. Where is it called? Godzilla on My Mind. If you guys don't know, it's by William Tsutsumi, I think. Yeah. And he's just a guy that just been a huge fan of Godzilla, and he just, you know, he talks about his life as, you know, as a fan, and it's pretty dope story.
Yeah. Let's see. So about the screenings, obviously we know there's going to be screenings of that new 4K restoration. From November 5th to 11th, the festivities continue to select the Master of blah, 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 blah. They'll screen Godzilla versus Hedorah. They'll screen Shin
Strangest
Godzilla.
Adventures. Yeah, I agree.
Then they will also do a must-see double feature spectacular. 2 classics of the Heisei era never before seen in American cinemas. 1984's The Return of Godzilla, which is the kickoff to the Heisei era and a direct sequel to Gojira, which was heavily re-edited and re-released in the United States as Godzilla in 1985. I didn't know the release of the original version has never been officially screened here.
It hasn't, because again, like when it crosses the pond, like it has to go through obviously Hollywood, and they obviously take liberties on themselves.
Yeah,
it's like the same. It's the same thing with like the original. Like I'm curious, is this original gonna have? Fuck, I forgot his name. Hold on, I need to look this up because you know the white guy, the white American journalist that's in the movie in 1954.
Yes. Yeah.
He was not in the original cut.
I couldn't tell you anybody's name, but I remember him.
Yeah, but he was not in the original cut. Not at all. And
really?
Yeah. If you it's so fucking funny. Like when it went to the United States, Hollywood thought there needed to be a white American actor in that movie. So they spliced this man in the movie. And he had to act around these people. It was you know, it was a next gen level of Hollywood filmmaking. And if you watch the movie, I hope if they use that version, if you watch it, you could see him like talking and narrating what's going on, but he never acknowledges anyone in the film. No one talks to him directly, and he doesn't talk to anyone directly.
That's pretty interesting.
He's just there, spliced into the movie while the movie's going. He's like over here while everyone is like over here like figuring out what's going on. He's over here like this. He's just like a journalist, just like talking to himself. And he looks at some of the Japanese people, but they don't acknowledge him whatsoever. It's the most hilarious shit ever.
He's just kind of there in the room.
Yeah, he's just kind of there. When I found that out, I rewatched the original 1954, and I died laughing about how much he just does. Like you could honestly cut him out of the movie, and
pretty
the movie
funny.
would have kept going. It's hilarious. I need to find out who that actor is though, because by golly, it's fucking hilarious. Let me see. Where is he? Oh my god! Even in Wikipedia, I don't see him. He's not in the Wikipedia cast.
That's funny.
That is so bad.
He's completely irrelevant.
Yeah, because the main, like, one of the main characters is Hideko Ogata, which is one of the other people, and the most important one, which is Akihiko Hirata, who plays Dr. Serizawa, who is the most famous character in the Godzilla franchise. He's
reoccurred quite a few times, right?
His name is echoed through the entire franchise. Like, he is the man who killed Godzilla and created what we know as Auction Destroyer. Obviously, Legendary Godzilla took its own liberties, which I don't mind, because I would love to have seen, and it actually made it very poetic. So if you guys don't know, in the original 1954, Dr. Serizawa creates the Auction Destroyer, kills Godzilla, and that creates an echo all the way up to, I think, 2004 with Godzilla against Mechagodzilla.
Right.
And in 1994 with Godzilla versus Destroyer, like, Dr. Serizawa's name has been echoed throughout the franchise. And when it came to Legendary, and I found out that, I forgot who the actor's name is, but when I found out that Dr. Serizawa was going to be in the Godzilla franchise in Legendary, I was pretty excited by it, because I was thinking, okay, we're going to get a confrontation between Godzilla and Dr. Serizawa, and as he kills a Legendary Godzilla 2014. But we didn't get that. We got an entirely different rendition of Dr. Serizawa, as like this guy who was just a fan of Godzilla and wants to know more about it and understands his Godzilla's presence in this nature. And whenever and I'll guess spoiler alert, in Godzilla King of the Monsters, Dr. Serizawa sacrifices his life nuking Godzilla, which is complete polar opposite of what happened in the original 1954. So I think it's just really poetic to know that Legendary did its own. That's the most beautiful example of a director taking source material, taking liberties, and then making something even more beautiful in my eyes.
Right.
Which obviously, if you guys are not Godzilla fans, you probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But if you are, please let me know. Like, did you think that Legendary's Dr. Serizawa was a good rendition of who we knew back then in the old Godzilla franchise? I personally thought so. It was a great rendition of Dr. Serizawa. So yeah, I'm 100%. Sure. Also, I think I don't know if Serizawa was mentioned in Return of Godzilla or Godzilla versus Biollante. I'm not sure. I'll have to rewatch those. But his name echoed throughout the entire thing, and he is like the main character. But back to what I was saying about the American dude. Yeah, it like I don't know what Hollywood was fucking thinking with that. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous.
So did they add him in after the fact?
They added him
because
in
you said he's not in the
movie.
original. He's not in the original cut, right? What was released in Japan, he's not in that.
Yeah, he's not in the Japanese cut.
That's interesting.
When it went to Hollywood, they spliced him in.
That's really interesting.
Hilarious.
Like, almost like, why? Like,
it was just, just back then Hollywood, always has to, I guess Hollywood is semi-racist. If they're gonna allow a Japanese movie to come in, there has to be some white blood in it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I wonder which version they're gonna use. Either the actual Japanese cut of the original or the Hollywood version of it. Which it doesn't knock away from the story at all, because again, he has no legitimate presence in that movie whatsoever. It's just fucking hilarious to watch now that I know who he is and how he got in the movie.
Right. So they're also going to do a screening of Godzilla versus Biollante, that's also never been released in American theaters. It was released in the US, but it was straight to DVD. To DVD
or VHS.
Well, yeah, at that point it would have been VHS. So yeah, it'll be pretty cool, man. Tickets for all films, Draft House. Let's see where Miguel, let me see if there was anything else going on in this. Not really in this article. Let me switch over here. We're gonna see where they're doing these screenings because honestly, I'd like to go. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I would love to go. I'm just too busy looking at pictures of what's his name. His name is Raymond Burr, the American reporter, and you could see scenes like he looks at a place. It's hilarious.
Here we go. Godzilla, happy birthday, Godzilla. 4K. Does it have theater locations though? So obviously, like we said, they're not only showing the 4K restoration of Godzilla. I guess we have a little trailer here.
No, we do.
So not only are we getting the 4K restoration of the original film, they are also going to stream Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Shin Godzilla, The Return of Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Biollante, and that's going to be pretty cool, man. I wish there was a list of theaters.
Ooh, go down. Hold on. Go back down. What was that? That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's
I'd
cool.
put that in my collection.
I'm sure you would. So I don't know why there's not a list of theaters.
I think they're still probably trying to figure that out, because of COVID. They don't want to set a list.
The first
a
audience
lot of
in
people
the
are gonna be in there.
galaxy to see Godzilla 4K in a theater.
Who the fuck says in the galaxy?
Challenge puts this one performer, yada 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 yada. At Select Alamo Draft House. What is that? Alamo Draft House. Let's see. Alamo Draft House. What is that? The headquarters is in Austin, Texas. Theaters. Let's see. Theaters.
We're going to Texas, guys. We're going to Texas.
So they have okay, Miguel. They have theaters in Austin, Texas, Charlottesville, Corpus Christi, Dallas, the DC area, the Bay Area, Denver area, El Paso, LA, NYC, Chicago, San Antonio, Raleigh, Omaha. Yeah, we're not going to see this. I'm sorry, Miguel.
Chicago's close enough. Boy, you went to Cleveland to look at a house.
Okay, we went to Cleveland for more than just the house, too.
I know. Well, I might take the trip. I don't fucking care.
You'd go to Chicago just to see that?
Sure, why not? We're young. We're in our 20s. Why the fuck not?
That's fair.
Have some memories.
Yeah. Real quick, let's talk. So we got this bad boy. We got the Scream poster yesterday. And as we said, we will probably hop on. If the trailer really ends up dropping tomorrow, we'll probably hop on and do a live trailer reaction to that. The thing that struck me, again, this poster is nothing crazy, only in theaters, and it's got cool looking ghost face thing. But the thing that struck me about this is it's always someone you know. Now, here's the thing about this new Scream movie. I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm not really a huge Scream fan. I appreciate it for what it is, but it's never been in my top 5 or so. I think Scream 5 needs to do something insane. I've heard a lot of people say that they need to kill off Sydney in the first 5 minutes. I think that level of crazy. Now I don't know. I don't want to see Sydney be the killer. You know what I mean? That's a little too crazy for my taste.
That's what Scream is, man. It's filled with who did it, who's the killer, and then it's you know what I mean?
Yeah, I could even see it being somebody like Dewey. I think it needs to be something like that, where it's going to make you be like, oh, shit. Really? Are you being serious? That's really? That's the guy. He's Ghostface now. I think it needs, if audiences don't have that reaction, I think Scream 5 is not going to work. I don't want to see the same recycled crap where it's somebody we don't know is the killer and it's just another copycat kind of thing. Which I guess it would be a copycat, but I think Scream 5 needs to do something wild, or else it's not going to stand out to me. You know,
Matthew
and I think the
Matthew
reason
Lillard needs to come back and do a cameo. I'm just saying.
I think that would be dope. If he was the
That'd be
killer, I think
fucking
that would be, if
great.
somehow he survived, I think that would be amazing.
No,
that would be
I would
great.
love to see it. What's the casting call? Is he in the movie?
It doesn't say he is, but that might be a really good kept secret. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't
Shaggy got unlimited powers, man. I love Matthew Lillard.
Dude,
Really,
Matthew Lillard is great.
he's one
I
of the
would
guys that
love
understood
it
the
if he
assignment.
turned out to be the killer. If he
Yeah.
somehow survived and it was him doing
Yep.
it again, I think that would
Yep.
be great. I just turned my flashlight on and I didn't mean to.
He walks in, takes off the mask. He's like, zoinks! Like Scoob.
Zoinks! That's awesome, man. So yesterday we also got, courtesy of Timothy Chalamet, the first picture of him as Willy Wonka in Wonka.
I did not know it was going to be a prequel.
Yep, it's gonna be a prequel.
looks
And I
good.
will say,
Good costume.
it actually does look pretty good. I think he does. I could imagine be like, it's not a big stretch to be like, okay, he does look like a young Willy Wonka.
Mm-hmm.
He does. He looks like a young. What's
He
his
looks
name?
like a
I'm
young
drawing
Gene
a
Wilder.
blank.
Not the Johnny
Gene
Depp.
Wilder. I don't know why I
Yeah.
couldn't think of his name.
He
does.
looks like a young Gene Wilder. I
could
vibe with that.
I could see him looking like a young Gene Wilder. Like
Mhm.
I get it. I don't really know what they're gonna
made out of chocolate.
chocolate. I don't know what they're gonna do with the story. That kind of intrigues me a little bit.
It may be like a
Um,
Cruella kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, we'll
That's
wait
fair.
until when she becomes the true Cruella. Am I thinking of that right?
Yeah.
With Emma Stone? Okay, cool. I never
you're-
saw the movie, but I feel like it's gonna be the same vibe.
Yeah, you're thinking of it right, definitely.
Yeah.
Couple other things before we wrap up here. I know we're at the 2-hour mark. These last couple of stories shouldn't take too long. They're pretty straightforward. This is kind of an interesting one. And Miguel, I really wanted to get your thoughts. Again, I'm not really caught up on the Hellraiser franchise. I've seen the first 2 or 3.
I was so
It's
confused
been-
why Michael was with
I know,
that
right?
picture.
It's like,
I was like,
what
what
the
the
hell?
fuck?
It's just the advertising for it. So Jamie Clayton, from what I understand, she's a very good actress, is starring as Pinhead. So if you haven't heard, Pinhead in this new Hellraiser movie, of course, David Gordon Green is doing a Hellraiser series, not to be confused with the new movie that they're doing. Pinhead's going to be a woman. What do you think?
Interesting. It reminds me of. It reminds me of who was it that played Bob Dylan in the movie I'm Not There?
I have no idea.
It was, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Cate Blanchett played as Bob Dylan.
Oh,
And in the film, about his life, she looked like Bob Dylan. Like, it was really impressive. So I mean, that right there is an example of like, it could work. I'm not knocking this down. I think because obviously there's nothing there that would say, I don't know, if you guys are Hellraiser fans, like, are you guys upset with this? Like, if you guys are, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you take a look at the Bob Dylan movie, I mean, Cate Blanchett did a phenomenal job at looking like Bob Dylan. So,
yeah,
I mean, if she can do it, I'm pretty sure she can nail that too. Plus,
definitely.
it's
And
like, I don't know.
it could be cool.
It could be cool. I'm down with it. I'm down for seeing it.
If you're going to gender swap it, I think this is a good franchise to do that with. So in a casting that gender reverses iconic horror movie character Jamie Clayton, one of the stars of the L Word, Generation Q, is starring as Pinhead in the Spyglass reboot of the 80s classic Hellraiser. The project is described as a loyal yet evolved reimagining of the movie based on Clive Barker's novella The Hellbound Heart. Barker expanded the story into a 1987 movie he wrote and directed about a puzzle box that opens a gateway to a horrific world run by Cenobites, mutilated beings dedicated to torture and led by a prickly-headed man named Pinhead. Pinhead and his unique look become central to the horror franchise that launched numerous movies, comics, and merchandise. The new Hellraiser recently wrapped production, and Spyglass on Thursday revealed the cast. Odessa Azan is starring alongside Clayton in the movie, which will debut on Hulu sometime in 2022. It's interesting that it's going to be on Hulu as well. I wonder if this will be theatrically released at all.
No, but again, Hulu has some good shit too, honestly.
Hulu's got some great stuff, definitely. Barker's boarding I'm going to skip a few things. Barker's boarding comes after a legal battle in which the author regained American rights to the franchise due to copyright law and a settlement with the production company. Barker is due to recapture U.S. rights on December 19th, 2021. Barker was all praise on the new take on his creations, and he had this to say: having seen some of the designs from David Bruckner's new Hellraiser film, they pay homage to what the first film created, but then take it to places it's never been before. This is how a Hellraiser on a scale that I simply didn't expect. David and his team are steeped in the story's mythology, but what excites me is their desire to honor the original, even as they revolutionize it for a new generation. And that's pretty cool. It sounds like they're trying to bring Hellraiser into the 21st century, which is dope. And again, if you're going to do that and gender swap the main villain, I think this is a really good franchise to do that. I actually think it could be really cool. I know there's a lot of people kind of pissed about it.
It's just such an underrated horror film. You know what I mean? Like, not many people know about Hellraiser.
Right.
And
they know who Pinhead is.
I'm literally digging far into my memory to remember watching this movie and how unsettling it was to me.
Oh, it's nasty, man.
It is a nasty movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. Honestly, that would be a good rewatch, man, because I haven't watched Hellraiser in a long time.
It's the most cringiest movie, but not in a bad way, in like a gory and horror way.
Right. And it's horrific, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see kind of where they take this. I think it could be really, really cool. I'm 100% down for a female Hellraiser. I think that could be really, really neat. And I just lost one of the links that I had pulled up to our next story. Here it is again. So now we're going to switch gears. We're going to go over to DC. Let me get my life in order here and get my screen stuff shared. So this comes to us from the Illuminati. We've talked about their stuff before. A ton of different scoops that we've already seen. And this one's related to the Batman. I have bad news for all the Pattinson haters, but good news for the Batman enthusiasts. It looks like we will definitely be seeing much more of Robert Pattinson's Batman within the foreseeable future. It appears as though Warner Brothers has the utmost confidence in Matt Reeves' The Batman. In fact, they're so confident they've given the sequel an early green light. So they're already... Dude, we still have... When does The Batman come out? Is it next summer?
Year?
Or is it like March or something like that? March, April, May, June,
somewhere
in there. They've already given the sequel the green light. So they're obviously pretty confident in its success. And given everything
it's going to be a good movie.
I think it will be very successful.
I agree.
I think Robert Pattinson is going to surprise people. I think this movie is going to surprise people because it's not your average everyday I almost said horror flick. It's not your average everyday superhero movie. This is going to have horror aspects. This is going to be dark and gritty and nasty and bloody, and it's going to make you feel like you kind of need to take a shower after. And I think if we're building that kind of Batman universe, I'm down. Like, I am completely down. If we're doing the same kind of thing that we did with Joker, with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, I think we are in for a treat with this movie. I really do.
Yeah, but again, like, Joaquin Phoenix Joker, I mean, it wasn't bloody. It was just really, like,
disturbing,
dramatic. It was just disturbing. Yeah, it got bloody, like, in the final, 30 minutes of the movie, but, like, it was just really disturbing flick. Like, you felt unsettled. It was a very unsettling movie.
Right.
Like, you feel bad for them, for everyone involved in that film.
Yeah,
in a good way.
Definitely.
So, but this movie looks like it's going like full throttle into just the pits of your emo-ish desire.
We're going back to middle school, man.
Yeah, going back to middle school.
So, according to the renowned insider Daniel Rickman, we talk about Daniel Rickman's scoops a lot, and confirmed by Batman on Film, Warner Brothers has given Matt Reeves the all clear to drive head-on with a sequel to the upcoming The Batman. Seems like the head honchos over at Warner Brothers share an insurmountable amount of interest in Matt Reeves' iteration of The Dark Knight. They're so invested, they are actually launching their own cinematic universe surrounded by the Batman. And of course, we have Daniel Rickman's tweet here. There are at least 2 more Batman spinoffs in development. We have the trailer down here. Let me see if there's anything else. Rumors have already begun circulating the web, suggesting the Batman sequel will be based in the famed No Man's Land arc, where Gotham literally became cut off from the rest of civilization and somehow managed to become even more of the lawless cesspool than it was. I don't know about that. It may be too soon to adapt No Man's Land. They may just end up borrowing elements similar to what The Dark Knight Rises and Gotham's 5th season did. Now, hear me out on this, Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
Arkham City, the video game, would you love to see an Arkham City adaptation, like where Gotham is basically a maximum security prison? I think that's dope.
I think Arkham City. Arkham City was dope, but Arkham Knight was in Gotham, and you got the dark and gritty vibe from it, like 100%. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's reminiscent of Arkham Knight, because obviously they're in Gotham at that point, and it's
right.
They did a pretty good job of depicting Gotham as a cesspool.
Right.
Yeah.
So these rumors could be wrong, and No Man's Land may not be adapted in any shape or form. The possibilities for what direction a sequel can go are infinite, and they can adapt Dark Victory, Courts of Owls, do a completely original story. Whatever direction Reeves and Warner Brothers decide to go in, it shouldn't be an issue as long as it's done with finesse. And it kind of talks about the Batman's history, yada, yada, yada. Really, my thing is whatever they do, if they really do try to take this Arkham City route or whatever route they go building this Batman universe, I hope that they take the time to do it. My only fear with doing an Arkham Knight or Arkham City level adaptation is that like Arkham City feels very like all of his villains were kind of there already. Like Arkham City seems very like far away. And what we know about the Batman is that it's very much he's young Batman. It's not first year Batman, but he's kind of been through it already. Like he's already got this weird psychological trauma, and he's not in a good place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope we explore that a little bit, and I hope we take the time to build up the Gotham universe before we jump into adapting like the biggest storylines and you know what I mean in Batman lore. That's
exactly. This is the first time I felt that we're gonna get a larger scale of the Batman universe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like we've obviously gotten like, our Tim Burton-ish, and we also got the realism of Christopher Nolan, and with Ben Affleck, we kind of got a hint of it, but nothing was really built upon after Batman v Superman and Snyder Cut. Yeah. We just haven't gotten that. So this is going to be really interesting to keep track of, because this is going to be the first time we're going to see all this.
Definitely.
So in a long time.
I am super, super excited for the Batman. So guys, let us know. I mean, what do you think? What stories would you like to see adapted? Of course, we don't know the plot of the Batman. We don't know how it ends. But again, I've heard a lot of people say, what if Batman does not win at the end? Like, what if Batman loses?
Doesn't.
Like, I think Batman is really going to take it. Like, Bruce Wayne is going to take it to him.
He's going to be giving us shit sandwich left and right. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where that universe goes. Now, last story of the night. I'm going to throw up a spoiler alert. We're talking Spider-Man No Way Home. If this information is going to spoil Spider-Man No Way Home for you at all, hop on
Peace
out now.
out.
Goodbye. I don't know why you're watching this. I'm kidding. So I purposely saved this for last because of this. Now, personally, and I think you kind of feel the same way, Miguel, I think Spider-Man No Way Home is probably the worst kept secret in Hollywood. Alfred Molina said that. I think everybody kind of knows where we're going. I think they know the territory that we're kind of treading on right now. But there was an article on geekosity.com. And again, Mikey Sutton's Geekosity, we talk about them a whole lot. And their scoops and things. Venom is rumored to meet Tom Holland in Spider-Man No Way Home. So now we're also getting the fact that Venom is supposedly going to meet up with Tom Holland's Spider-Man in this movie. Now, we already know there's going to be a slew of villains in Spider-Man No Way Home. We're going to get this multiversal Sinister Six. Alfred Molina is back. Jamie Foxx is back. Willem Dafoe is back. Plus the Spider-Man villains we have in the MCU. It's going to be just wild sauce. It's going to be insanity. And now it's looking like we're going to throw Venom into the mix. Now, my guess is that Venom is going to be a post-credit scene. I don't think we're actually going to see Venom fight Spider-Man or something in this movie.
No, I think with that big thing, whenever we were like trying to decipher who that monster was in the Doctor Strange prison, I think that was Lizard. It's not Venom. Yeah. Because I don't know. I don't think he would be there yet. I feel like Venom and Eddie would definitely be the type of people that would blend into the crowd. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like he wouldn't want to stand out in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
And as compared to Lizard, who is a lizard, like he can't change back into human form. Like he has to be dwelling in the deep of the sewers. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So obviously he would be caught first. But this Venom right here would probably spoiler alert, guys. Like in the post credit scene of Venom, like a Venom Let There Be Carnage, like Eddie Brock gets sucked into the MCU. And it's cool the way they did it because they changed the vibe of the shot. It was really cool. It went from like Sony original flick to like full on you're in the MCU. Like you can really tell. It was pretty dope the way they did that.
Yeah.
And I think this is something like Eddie Brock and Venom are definitely going to be the type of person that play it low key right now just to get a good grasp of what's going on.
Right.
Until it's time for him to come after Tom Holland, which I think in regards to the whole storyline of Tom Holland Spider-Man with his young kid age to college years to adulthood, I think Venom would be dope in his college years. I think it would be absolutely dope.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, look at what we've talked. I mean, I almost said what we've scooped, but we haven't scooped it. But we've talked about scoops before where multiple people have said, like, they're building towards Venom and Spider-Man fight, like that conflict. Like, that is a big moment planned for Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is, they're pushing towards that, and that is going to be its own big thing. So I don't think they're going to fight in this. But let's see what this article had to say. Venom could meet Tom Holland sooner than we expected as the symbiote is rumored to appear in No Way Home, yada yada. This new report corroborates Geekosity's own leak from September 16th. Mikey Sutton revealed that Venom would briefly appear in Spider-Man No Way Home. Keyword is briefly. Spider-Man No Way Home is shaping itself up to be the most ambitious crossover since Avengers in 2012. This seemingly serves as not just a culmination of Tom Holland's initial Spider-Man trilogy, but also every live-action web-slinger film to date. Both of the previous Spider-Man and their villains from Sam Raimi and Mark Webb's Spider-Man universes have a part to play in the movie. We already know that. Fans are convinced that Tom Hardy's Venom from his own universe will join in on the fun. What is that picture? That's awkward. That's weird looking.
No spoilers. I love Tom.
Spoilers.
He is such a Boy Scout.
In the post-credits sequence of Venom Let There Be Carnage, Hardy transported the character into the MCU. Hardy teased this on his Instagram account. He posted an Instagram selfie. We know that. We've seen that already. Apparently, Tom Holland is no longer the spoiler king in the Spider-Verse. Taking both of these points into consideration, and it looks like it's guaranteed that the fan favorite symbiote and its host will be appearing in the film in some capacity. Furthermore, we apparently know that we now have even more confirmation of Hardy's possible involvement. The report explained another big cameo is on the way that will have Venom and Spider-Man seeing each other on the big screen in short order. Tom Hardy will be in Spider-Man No Way Home. That's a cool shot right there, too. Yeah. I can't wait for the two of them to meet, man. That's going to be such a cool interaction.
I think the biggest thing we're waiting for is for Venom to get the Venom symbol.
I am so excited for that. I feel like Venom doesn't look like Venom without the.
He doesn't.
Venom feels incomplete to me right now, and I think it's partially because he's missing the symbol. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
So,
and I'm excited for it. Like, it's going to be a big moment whenever he gets it, too.
Oh yeah,
it's obviously going to come. I feel like Eddie Brock's going to get kicked out of the picture for a hot minute.
Right.
And he's obviously, we're going to have Venom Spider-Man, the black suit, and pretty soon we'll get Eddie Brock back, where he gets back Venom, and he keeps the insignia of it, but creates his own version of it.
And we know in the comic books, Venom has kind of a weird fascination with Spider-Man. Like, it's kind of strange. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that'll be really cool.
Because I don't know, it's gonna be weird for certain. Because if you guys haven't seen Venom, Let There Be Carnage, you know that in the movie, like, they talk about how Carnage and I forgot his name, Cletus Cassidy, like, they were having trouble because they were not symbiotic with one another. They were just hosting one another.
Mm-hmm.
As compared to Venom and Eddie, where they're a perfect match.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's weird to think that Venom would want to go to Spider-Man, even though he already found his perfect match, which is kind of a love triangle. It's just going to be a weird, ironic, funny, action-packed love triangle.
Dude, you just described it perfectly. It's a weird love triangle.
It's a weird
That's Spider-Man and Venom for you.
Yep.
That's pretty funny. How big of role Venom has remains to be seen. That's written weird. After all, the Tom Holland flick is already packed with several notable characters in it. Consequently, don't expect Tom Holland punching Venom in the movie. Moreover, the cameo is likely in a post-credit scene. And of course, Tom Hardy being kind of sneaky and whatever. So yeah, man, Tom Hardy is rumored to be in Tom Holland's Spider-Man No Way Home. And Venom will be in a post-credit scene. So there you have it, man. there's the show.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot tonight. My voice
we gathered a lot of information for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from us. Not much, but I hope you enjoyed our rants and shit. I hope you don't cut us up too much with the Resident Evil one, but let's be honest.
I know. I don't know. I'm picky, man. I'm picky about Resident Evil. I really am. So we'll have to see. But I think that is going to do it for episode 43 of Let's Talk Movies. We are almost at 2.5 hours. This is one of our longer episodes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Please leave us a like and leave us a comment. What did you think of all the stuff we talked about? What did you think of the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailers? What are your expectations for Halloween Kills? When are you going to see Halloween Kills? This will probably be our last normal show until next Monday, when we actually are reviewing Halloween Kills, which is so crazy to say even out of my mouth right now. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Please follow us on Twitter and Instagram at We Talk the Movies. If you're watching after the fact, leave us a comment. Let us down below. I don't know what I'm saying. Let us know down below in the comment section what you thought of this week's movie news: Venom, Resident Evil, Halloween, the Batman,
yeah.
Just so many different things tonight. And there was a lot. So please let us know in the comments. Thank you guys so much. We are on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at We Talk the Movies. New episodes of Let's Talk Movies Podcasts are every single Monday and Friday at Eastern Standard Time. We also have Purely and Simply Evil, and we're working on the next episode of that show coming up real soon. So without further ado, guys, have a great rest of your week. Enjoy Halloween Kills, and we will see you soon. Bye.